Alright, welcome everybody. I'm Art Biga, here with a special broadcast today. Usually we are never on the air at this time of day on a Saturday. So what we're doing tonight is running a full Australian Grand Prix. Because of the cancellation this weekend, we thought we would have a little bit of fun because everybody's a little bit down about it. Obviously the right decision, though. I have a responsibility to keep things safe. So what we've got here is various members of the ZOR community here. We're going to do a full qualifying session. We're going to do a 100% distance race. I am going to be here for the entirety of that, broadcasting this for you. Yeah, you know, if you're watching this live or watching it later on a replay, I hope you enjoy the broadcast. Try to keep it entertaining. It's going to be a long one. Talking to myself for over 2 hours is probably going to be pretty tough, but I'll try to hang in there. Got some liquid courage to help me out here. But yeah, wow, quite a few people tuned in already. It's good to see everybody. But here we go. We've got the weather set to clear. We've got the damage set to reduce, just so that we don't really lose too many cars so easily. The weather set to clear is to kind of minimize the safety cars, hopefully, and crashes as well. So, as you see, a variety of guys here tonight, all from 3 different tiers, Tier 1, Tier 2, and the EU tier. And then we've also got Barton, the head steward. Never, ever races, but it's a special night, so Barton's on the grid, and he's here to kick some ass, I think. Something to prove. Another factor, which I haven't mentioned yet, is we're running realistic performance. So we've tried to seed the drivers by pace in the fastest and slowest cars. So you've got like Niebuhr and Mario are in the Mercedes, and then guys like Puff, Doth, they're in the Williams, Jinnit, Arrow in the Toro Rosso, Gilzo and Barton are in the Alpha. So, interesting night we should have here. These guys are not going to be used to these cars. Some of them are going to handle a little bit different than the equal performance, but hopefully their skill will outshine the cars they're in, and we'll see some pretty good racing here today. Another name to notice here is Marlano. He literally just joined us, I think, yesterday, and he's already here racing. See how he does tonight. He's riding in that Haas car. We kind of just stuck him in the middle, thinking we're not really sure what kind of pace he's got, so we'll just give him the middle of the road and see how he does. We got Bobby and GXW in the Ferrari. So let's get that map fixed, and let's figure out who's coming around to start their hot lap. I think that's going to be Barton. Nope, Gilzo. Gilzo starting his hot lap. Let's ride on board with Gilzo for this hot lap. It's obviously Q1. We've got a lot of qualifying to go through here. It's just the first 18-minute session, and then we'll have 15 minutes and 12 minutes for the next 2. So right now, everybody's just trying to get the best time they can and secure their spot in the next session. And probably some of the faster guys will be able to just sit here with those soft tires and put in a good lap, and then just take it into the garage. So probably see a lot of cars waiting towards the end here. Obviously, an interesting factor to running the full qualifying, something we're not used to, is that Q2 will provide an opportunity for people to qualify on mediums or hards if they have the pace, and maybe start on them and then get a good starting position in Q3 on the sorry, just saw a yellow flag there. I was trying to figure out what happened, but they'll be able to go out in Q3 on softs and just try to get themselves up the grid with some good strategies. So I think it's going to be a pretty interesting night. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, we've got a lot of time ahead here. I don't want to wear myself out too early, so maybe we'll find another car to ride on board with here. Looks like Barton just starting a hot lap, so Gilzo with a 122.5. Who's that in the Mercedes? There's Niebuhr crossing the line. 24.7, so 2 seconds off of Gilzo in the Mercedes. So it kind of balances out the grid a little bit more. I mean, Niebuhr would probably generally be off a little bit more than that. Gilzo obviously one of the fastest guys we've got in the entire league, so Yeah, it's going to be an interesting night for sure. A little bit of a mixed-up grid. So Zenith in the Toro Rosso goes with a 123.1. If you're just joining us, we are running realistic performance. So the grid's balanced as best we can with pace. Fastest guys and the slowest cars, etc. Doth goes with 123.9 in the Williams. So that's pretty good from Doth. JXW, 124.2 in the Ferrari. That's a pretty solid lap from JXW. Right in the mix there. Yeah, it's going to be really fun, I think. Let's try to find a hot lap to get on board with here. We got Bobby coming across the line. Looks like he's just about to finish. This could be a good lap for Bobby here. 23.1 from Bobby, so yeah, it looks like the pace is balanced well to their cars. I think they've done well seating the guys here. It looks pretty good to me. It'll be a fun one. Electric Chicken with 124.8, so obviously he'll be hoping to do better his next run. Not a great time from him. Let's check in with that Renault. It's coming around. Is that Ryan? It is finishing lap. Does Ryan go? 23.9 for Ryan, so a pretty good time for him too. Jumps in front of the Ferrari just behind Doth and the Williams, so that'll be a good scrap. Obviously, this isn't the order for the race, but theoretically, if this is the pace these guys have got, he's actually only really about 100th off Doth there, so that's a really close time. We've got Johannes now. Let's see what he can do. We're on board with Johannes. Just gonna, oh, runs a bit wide there. Probably not going to be the greatest time. We'll check in with that Red Bull. Is that Lit Romney on his first hot lap? He's in the Red Bull. Let's ride on board with Lit Romney. We'll just kind of, we'll just listen to the sounds for a lap there. Kind of preserve my voice for this lengthy broadcast. Approaching some traffic here. Looks like Zag and McLaren. Just gonna check in on the chat. I know quite a few comments were left there. See what people are saying early. Josh. JFD in the chat. Everybody's pretty excited for this. I'm looking forward to it for sure. So, Lit Romney, he puts up a 123.5 in that Red Bull. That's a pretty good lap. Sorry, I was just looking down at the chat there. Oh, we've got somebody off. Is that one of the Williams? Would that be Puff? It is Puff. Puff has lost the car. And then behind him, obviously invalidated his lap as well, but behind him we've got looks like Gilzo and Barton in those Alfa Romeos 1 and 2 right now. That's pretty impressive. Obviously this isn't the grid, but still they're putting a benchmark down. Arrow pretty close in that Toro Rosso as well, just barely off Barton's time. So pretty interesting start to Q1 here. We'll see how this pans out for everybody. Looks like Johannes on a hot lap, just coming around towards the finish line now. Let's see what kind of time he can come forward. Looks like a good one. 23.5, so right into the middle there. It's a pretty solid lap from Johannes in the Renault. We've got a Red Bull crossing the line. Is that Lit Romney? It is. Looks like he's on another flyer now. Definitely has time, and it's only Q1 as well. He's already got a decent time up on the board. JXW here, starting another hot lap. He needs to probably get time on the board. Let's ride with JXW, listen to the sounds of that Ferrari. around Albert Park. JXW was purple in Sector 1, and purple in Sector 2 as well, so JXW might be on pace here to set the fastest lap of Q1 so far. See if he can keep it tidy through the final sector here and put a good time on the board. Very in control of this car right now. Runs a bit wide, perfect amount of grip. Here we go. 23.3, so he definitely lost some time in that third sector there, but he had a pretty good sector 1 and 2. He's got to figure out that third sector and get himself into a bit of a better spot, but he's very close to his teammate Bobby, the 123.1. They're tucked in just behind the Toro Rossos and the Alphas. So, yeah, the mixture of drivers and cars here with the realistic performance has created a bit of an interesting session here. We've still got some of the fastest guys putting in the best times, but guys that normally wouldn't be right on their tails are very close because of the machines they're in. So, should be very fun. Merlano and Terminal Deity very close on pace there. It's nice to see the with the realistic performance how they perform against one another, the teammates. So Puff edges out Doth just barely there. Lit Romney has a big advantage over Burns at the moment. Zyg also with a big advantage over Cox. He obviously hasn't set a lap at the moment. Neither has Fuzz. Chicken sitting in last at the moment, just behind Niebuhr in that Mercedes. So let's see who we can find on hot lap here. Bobby just finished the lap. I don't think he improved though. I think Doth improved. Yeah, he did. I was going to say his time got closer to Puff's, but he's still just barely behind. It's less than 100th off. That's insane. Yeah, wow. Very good scrap between these two in that Williams. Just right on the cusp of 10th. With a couple guys to set laps still. Mario and Coxey in the McLaren and the Mercedes still with no laps on the board. See what Puff is doing at the moment. Looks like he might be on another push lap. Maybe he's heading into the pits more than likely. His battery's turned down. Yep, Puff heads into the pits. He'll probably get one more run in. So what do you think the cutoff is for Q1 here? I mean, it's something I've never really had to talk about on the air, but now I realize that getting to that point here. I think JXW 23.3, I think that's a pretty safe cutoff. I don't know, I think everybody above that needs to go back out. Or sorry, everyone behind him needs to go back out for sure, but JXW might get through Q1 with that time. It's hard to say. Oh, Bobby goes fastest, 122.1. We also have a Racing Point heading in, that's Fuzz. He put up a pretty good time with 23.3, so he might be safe with that time as well. But I think everybody probably... I think Arrow, Barton, Gilzo, and Bobby, they're probably safe now. I don't think any of them need to go back out, but Jinnit probably considers going back out just to make sure. Everyone behind Jinnit, I think, should probably get out. Maybe not set a lap, but get out there and be prepared to set one if people start climbing quickly. Obviously, track evolution plays a big factor here. By the end of Q3, you'll probably see some massive improvements in time. Watching the garage right now. Sorry about that. Let's get to something more interesting. It's Coxey heading into the pit lane. It's a little more interesting, but not what we're looking for. Merlano. Here, he sets a time. Or is he on an outlap? Okay, so he's just starting his flyer. Let's ride with Merlano. He's a new addition to the league. He's going to be a full-time reserve, so he'll have seats when they're available. A lot of people tuned in here. They're all saying, oh, I wish I could have made it, but yeah. I mean, we still filled the grid anyway, so that's fine by me. But Marlano is going to be a full-time reserve, so he'll fill in whenever he can. He'll keep his points in each tier that he races in. If he ends up in a full-time seat, he'll bring those into the championship hunt. But obviously this race, just an exhibition. This is for fun tonight. This is for something for people to watch now, something for people to watch later, to kind of fill the void of the canceled Australian Grand Prix in real life. Obviously the COVID virus causing a lot of issues around the world, closures. Some countries a little more prepared than others. Some didn't take it as seriously as they should have, and they're facing a bit of an outbreak at the moment. So it's a tough situation. Obviously, I think they did the right thing canceling the Grand Prix. It's a shame they had to wait so long to do it because everybody had already traveled and made their way there. Pretty tough situation overall. But yeah, figured we would give some people, especially our league members, something to watch. And maybe some new viewers tune in just for something to do tonight. You never know. Burns heading into the pits, so Lit and Romney heading across the line. He's about to start another hot lap. Let's ride with Lit and Romney here. Not too many cars out on track at the moment. Probably some guys heading out shortly, I'd imagine, to get their final run in. But let's see what Lit Romney can do here. We'll ride on board with him. Bit wide for Lit Romney there. I think he kept it together though. See what kind of time he puts up here. Oh, we got Mario spun on the main straight there. Mario though in 9th, so he might be safe there. Now Lit Romney does not improve his time. So let's get to the cars behind. Who do we have behind? We've got a Mercedes. Is that Niebuhr coming? I know it's probably Mario getting himself turned around. We've got Doth. Where is Puff? Puff is up in his 7th. Good lap from Puff there. He proves 6/10 on that run. Terminal Deity, there he is coming around for his hot lap. Stick on board with him for a moment. Check in with the other guys. Zag about to cross the line here. What does he put up at 22.8? So a good lap from Zag. He might be safe with that. Hard to really say here. Get back to Johannes. Is that Johannes coming across? He's just about to start a hot lap. Ryan is starting a hot lap as well. Electric Chicken, he's on a flyer at the moment. Let's stick with Chicken and see if he comes around, and then we'll jump back through the order behind. We'll be with Merlano behind, and then I believe probably Lit Romney as well. Comes Chicken. Improves 23.6, but still down in 14th. That's not good enough for Chicken at the moment. Merlano does not improve. He's way down. He must have had a moment there. Burns tags the back of Merlano here. Bit of a lag there or something. I'm not too sure. Lit Romney heading into the pits. We've got... Is this Doth coming across? It is. Doth doesn't improve. I think his time was not counted. Is he on a flyer still? Is he... No, he's out. Doth is done. I believe he is eliminated in Q1 here. Well, Puff makes it out in 9th. Let's check in. Ryan looking to find his way out of the bottom here. Can he do it? He's one of the only drivers in the bottom 5 that can get his lap time improved and get out. The rest of the guys are out. Not going to pay attention to the rest of the order. It doesn't matter too much in Q1. We'll go with Ryan. Will he get enough here? Ah, Ryan in 17th. He doesn't get out of Q1, so that'll be it. I think Burns is safe, and Terminal Deity, Ryan, Doth, Neater, and Milano all out in Q1. They'll be sitting on the sidelines for the remainder of the qualifying session. I wonder... I wonder if I should invite Doth to the party and maybe get into commentary for the next 10 minutes or so before he has to get back out there, get ready for the race. I'm sure he's disappointed, maybe doesn't want to be on comms, but it's always a delight to chat with. I wonder what happened out there. He probably just couldn't get the car figured out, but Puff actually managed to get a pretty solid time on the board there. Might even make it into Q3 with that kind of time. JXW saying he loves full quality in the race so much. He's sitting in 10th in that Ferrari, so pretty good lap from Bobby there. Edges out the field by almost half a second. See what kind of damage he can do in that Ferrari tonight. He hasn't scored many points in Tier 2 this season. He's had a lot of bad luck for sure, but he's had some self-inflicted bad luck as well. So see what he can do tonight in a pretty solid Ferrari car. Obviously moving on to the next session shortly. I think I'm going to pop Doth a quick invite, see if he'll join me. What I didn't realize, my stream volume, the race was so loud I couldn't hear the stream was actually had the volume on. I'm sorry if that was going on in the background. Where is he? He's offline. He's hiding. Maybe he doesn't want to be found. Alright, so I imagine Doth's probably tuned into the stream at the moment. But yeah, Doth, if you want to jump in the party, we'll call the next maybe Q2 and then maybe halfway through Q3, and then you can hop back out and get yourself prepared for the race if you feel like it. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but we'll see if he joins. Got a few guys heading out early. Get that track map up. Got everything set up for the session. Burns. Oh, Williams. There he is. Doth thou hoist.
Hey,
he did join.
What's going on?
Hey, not much. I saw that you just had a pretty crappy Q1 there, and I was like, well, you might as well jump in for the comms for the next 20 minutes or so, and then...
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not? Having some dinner as well?
Yeah, why not?
Well, you can
After that, you know.
I mean, just eat your dinner. Come back when you're done having a snack.
No, I'm good. There's a bite left. I was just having a little snack. All good.
All right.
So.
Nice. So yeah, pretty rough session. That Williams is a dog.
It's not. Yes, but you know, I knew that it's not. It's just I turned in too early on that last lap.
Yeah.
And once that happened, I invalidated. That was it. I was kind of expecting. Go ahead.
Trying to warm those tires. Was it like tough to get temperature in? Because it looks like he's aggressively trying to warm them on his outlap here.
Yeah, it was. But there was a pretty significant track evolution over the course of the session.
Yeah.
So you had to put down a good lap at the end more than anything else.
Yeah, so. There's a lot of just a few guys out on the mediums at the moment. JXW, one of the first guys to put in a hot lap here in Q2. He is on the mediums, so I will ride on board with JXW for the moment. See what kind of time he can put in. He's probably got those tires working nicely if it's the Ferrari. Him and Bobby seem to have pretty good pace in those Ferraris, so I think it actually worked out pretty nicely the way they set the grid up. The balance between the pace and the cars seems to be shaking it up a little bit. It's going to be like a real struggle for some of the guys.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm curious to see how many positions I can make up from. I think I'm starting 17th or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
So, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, but you can pop on a set of mediums or hards and just kind of coast for a while and see what happens. There's probably going to be safety cars. Nobody's going to make it all the way through this whole race, so
exactly.
I'll have plenty of time.
Exactly.
to make up, and I think it'll work out.
Yep. Who's starting a let's see, who's starting a lap here?
It's like
So it looks like Bobby. Yep, coming across the line.
Yeah, do you want to call the lap?
Sure, absolutely.
Like
Slows down, goes into the chicane here, which is such a high-speed section. Nicely done through there. Pops open the DRS. Let's see where he is on track. Ooh, Gilzo sets fastest lap. Bobby gets all the way wide, does a really nice job on that turn-in, but let's see where he goes. Yep, gets a little wide, takes all of the track there. Could have maybe taken a little bit more speed through that turn, but you know he's still in good shape here. Let's see, he takes a little bit of curb there as he goes through. I really wish these had turn names, by the way. I don't actually know them. I don't think there are any.
I don't think there are either.
As he's flying down to the chicane, it's a little bit slower, but you have to still be aggressive. Takes all the curb he can there. Got to get on the power here, and now we're coming up to really one of my favorite sections on the whole calendar right here. Is this turn? It's like how much speed can you take? How much are you willing to risk it over this curb? Ooh, taking out that
cuts it.
Yeah, he cuts it.
Yeah.
So he was ready to risk it.
Yeah,
that's for sure. That's for sure.
Gilzo on a flyer. Let's get on board with Gilzo. Hopefully he doesn't cut the corner too. Nope, looks tidy. There you go. Perfect through there. Excellent run from Gilzo. Heading down the back straight with that DRS wide open into the right-hander. Hurls it in quickly. Lots of pace through there. Doesn't run too wide. Probably could use a bit more track, but he wants to make sure he keeps it tight. He's driving that Alpha, and he dives into the pits. Not happy with his lap, perhaps. JXW, is he coming around to do another hot lap? It looks like he is. Let's ride with JXW, see if he can improve on his first time. Putting a little bit of a cool-down lap there. Now back out on the mediums, going quickly. Lit Romney heading out of the pits as well, so he'll be on a hot lap in a minute or two.
You know, it's going to be super interesting as we're running 100% here today about how the strategy is going to kind of all play out with the people who are going to try to start on the mediums.
Yeah.
Because you wonder, because you don't take the qualifying hit here, because if you can make it through, you still get to finish the session on softs. Whoa!
Yeah, runs very wide there.
Yeah. Yeah, invalidated.
Yeah, he did. And he runs
getting out of the way.
Way off the road here.
Yeah, I think he's just getting out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lit Romney goes by.
Lit Romney on an out lap. Oh, Bobby lost it here. Just got on board with him, and he just hit the barrier. So Bobby has a moment there. That reduced damage, you kind of get away with it a little bit, and that's kind of what we're hoping for. We don't want to see too many cars out, especially in qualifying. There's already not enough going on. So, Electric Chicken. That helmet actually looks pretty sweet in the Racing Point, eh? He's got that pink and yellow helmet from his Renault, and it fits this car so nicely. Actually worked out well for Chicken. Check that helmet. Whew.
Yeah. Barton goes fastest.
Barton goes fastest. Barton and Gills are doing well in those Alphas.
Yep.
Jinnit tucked in just behind them. He's on an out lap at the moment. Johannes, is he on a push lap? He's in high. He might be pushing. Stay with Johannes for a moment. See what he does here in sector 2. No, he's way down.
No, he's not. Yeah, okay. Let's see.
Fuzz?
Yeah, that's where I went to.
Yeah, Fuzz. Let's see what he can do.
Fuzz.
No pressure.
27-4.
The Racing Point's a solid car, though. I think that'll help him because it's a little, like, I don't know, it's a pretty sturdy car. I don't find it's, like, difficult to drive in any means, but, like, obviously it doesn't have the pace you'd hope, but it's a pretty decent car to drive.
For sure, and if you're in front of people, it's a good car for defending because it's got so much top end.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, that's a good place to be on this track because passing is difficult. So if you're driving the fastest car with the best top end, that's a good, you know, that's a good way to defend.
Yeah. His teammate tonight, Chicken, not far behind either, so I'll check in with him after Fuzz crosses the line. See what kind of time they can put up. They're out on the softs. Almost everybody out on the softs, except for Aero, JX, and Mario at the moment. Goes Fuzz across the line. What kind of time did he put up here? Seems to be a good one. 23.3, so I'm not sure if it's good enough for the top 10. Chicken goes 24.1. Who is that? Burns, Lit Romney crossing the line, goes a 11th for the moment. Let's see what Burns can do. He's on an out lap still.
I think, yeah, I don't know that 23.3 is going to hold up.
I don't think so either, yeah. I think you need to be close to the 22s if you want to be in the top 10.
Yeah.
Probably Johannes might be safe, but I think everybody else needs to go back out for sure.
Yeah, no, I think, right, Johannes is probably fine, but I think everybody below that may need another run.
Yeah, for sure.
So, it's like you figure Arrow is going to probably get it down, get something around there. Puff will bring it down a little bit too. Chicken, we know, has more pace than that.
Yeah.
And Bobby Teva, who was first in the first one, doesn't have a lap yet, so you know he's going to jump up there in the Ferrari.
Right. Is this Gilzo? It is. He's coming around to finish a hot lap to see what he can do here. Is he going to improve? It looks like he is. Pretty quick on the straight here. 22.2
Nice.
from Gilzo, so that's a really
Nice.
good time. That could definitely put him through.
Yep. So he's done. He can go chill in the pits now.
I think, yeah.
Go,
I think
go
he's
have an
safe.
ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think he's safe for sure. Lit Romney heading into the pits. Got a McLaren coming around. Is that Coxey? It is. Starting a flyer. Let's see what Coxey can do here. Stay with him on his hot lap.
Sorry, I just got attacked by the cat. Who are we on board with?
Coxey.
Okay.
See what Coxey can do. He's riding the McLaren. Just coming to the end of the first sector right now. Let's see what kind of time he's got. He doesn't have a time set yet, so he must have been cutting the corner.
27.2. So
Purple.
yeah, no, Fuzz was like a 27.3 something. So this could be a nice lap coming together for Coxey here, as he's coming down into sector 2, the first of these chicanes. Really gets through there pretty cleanly. Let's see how much speed he takes through here. I always like riding on board for this chicane, because you really get a chance to see how much people are willing to risk this.
Yeah, he's pretty hesitant there.
Yeah, you could have.
Steady on the exit, though.
Yeah, for sure. You got a clean break off the corner.
Really needs to get a time on the board. I don't think he's going to have... He's going to barely have time for another run, I think, so this needs to count.
Yeah, I don't know that he'll be able to get around and in, and I think you're right. This has to count. Woo! Little slippage there, but he does okay. Goes a little bit wide, but gets the car rotated, so now he's running straight down the line here. I think he's going to end up okay. I think he's going to get through.
23 flat.
23 dead.
Yeah, I think he might be okay with that, but we'll see. It's going to be close. He's probably not going to have time to get back out. It's a short lap, though. He might just be able to squeak another hot lap in if he hustles around here. We'll see.
But, it also depends on how quick the pits move.
Yeah, Mario into the pits. These guys will definitely have time to get back out for another lap. JXW, he's on a flyer. Let's see what time he can put up. He's already put 2 laps in on the mediums. Should he... I don't think he should finish this lap. I think he should head into the pits. He's in 14th. It's not good enough right now. Yeah, he heads in. Good call.
I think he agrees with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to improve, and he's only got time to get one more lap on the board, so...
Yeah.
Barton just starting a flyer. I think this is probably going to be Barton's last hot run, unless he has enough fuel on board for 2 laps on the softs here, which is not a bad idea, really.
Yeah, you have a little leeway on 100%. That, it's really not a big deal.
Yeah, especially with the safety car on, we'll probably have a few moments where the race is negated here, and people will get a shot to scrap one another more often. Let's check in with the chat. We got quite a few people tuned in still, so... Q3, here we come. Gilzo getting cocky. He's parked it. I don't think he's coming back out. Barton looking to improve his time. Doesn't really need to, though. I think he was probably safe, too. Oh, big moment for Barton there. Nearly loses it. I think he saved it, but definitely going to turn the engine down now and just coast. So probably just do another hot lap to save his fuel and battery on the rest of the lap here. He's got no one near him. Nothing really to worry about. Looks like we got a yellow flag behind. Who is that? Fuzz had a moment, I think. There was a yellow flag there, and it looks like Arrow tucked in behind him. Well, it says purple sector.
Fuzz is up 4/10 in Sector 2, so I don't think it was Fuzz that had a moment.
Maybe it was Arrow then. Arrow on the outlap? Maybe he asked.
Oh, yes, we probably just let him go.
Yeah, it's just getting out of Fuzz's way. That makes sense.
Yep.
Now 17 people tuned in. Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get over 20 today. It's a pretty long broadcast, so sometimes when those numbers start getting high, it gains some momentum, and some people just find it randomly. It could work out for us tonight.
Yeah, no,
Nothing else going on. Well, the world's in quarantine, basically, so...
Self-quarantine mode.
Yeah.
So...
We got Lit and Burns both on out laps. Who is on a hot lap at the moment? Is that JXW? He's on his out lap, so not him. Puff on a flyer. Oh, Puff loses it!
Oh, no!
Huge moment for Puff.
Oops.
He'll actually have time for another run if he can just kind of get around safely and get himself back onto some fresh, well, not fresh tires, but get his tires broken again. He's going to have to stay out of the way for the 2 cars behind here. He's got Toro Rosso behind.
Zeig is about to start a hot lap, I think, here. Because with the 123.2, that's not enough time.
Arrow's gone purple. In sector 2, it looks like.
Using fuzz on a draft, very nice.
Yeah.
Getting that car rotated, that was smooth. That was very smooth, Arrow.
Approaching some traffic. Hopefully they stay out of his way. It's Puff Digital. Looking to start his last hot lap, and Arrow putting in his flyer at a 22.7. It's a pretty good lap from Arrow.
Yeah,
Is
he'll
it
be
enough
fine.
for Q3? I think so.
I think so.
Who
let's
do
see,
we have? We've got Burns. Yes, we do.
We've got
Burns,
Zeig.
and then Lit coming around. See what Burns can do in the Red Bull. He's on 10th right now, just on the cusp of Q3. A little hesitant there on the exit. Is it going to be enough? 22.9, so he improves up to 7th. He might be okay with that time. What can Lit Romney do? 24.1. Not enough for Lit Romney. He's going to be out. Eliminated
Zeig
in
just
Q2.
invalidated.
JXW coming around. He looks like he's up 6/10 according to the timing chart. What can he do here? Is it going to be enough to get into Q3? 23.2. He's in 11th, so no, wow. He's not going to get through. Johannes in the Renault. Can he secure his place in Q3 here? Improves by just under 2/10. It might be enough. Mario coming across. 23.2. He's in 11th as well. He doesn't get through. So Mario out. We've got Puff. His lap is invalidated, so Puff is out. He's starting 13th. Possibly slower. I think Electric Chicken is out as well, so that's it. Your top 10 is Zeig, Coxie, Burns, Johannes, Jinnit, Arrow, Barton, Fuzz, Gilzo, and Bobby in first again. Bobby, the early favorite for pole position here.
Zeig holds on by 13 1,000ths of a second.
Nobody got through on the mediums either, so everybody's starting on the softs today.
Yep.
This is going to be a great race.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited.
Yeah. You and Puff got some work to do.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
If you guys score points, I'll be happy. I think that'll be like pretty impressive drive if you guys, depending on how many people finish, of course. But if you guys say like 17, 18 finish and you guys are in the top 10, I think that'd be a pretty good drive.
Yep. You know, I know Puff always has strong race pace.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm sure he'll be fine. We'll see. I've been known to kind of get a little too aggressive when the car's heavy and fuck it up. So.
And the Williams doesn't seem to be very stable through that high-speed corner either, so you have to watch yourself.
Not exactly.
For the beginning stint of the race, you'll have to watch yourself.
Yeah, that's usually where I make up time, and it's not going to happen today.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Yeah, there you go. There's your bottom 5 eliminated. Bobby first, Gilzo second, Fuzz third, Barton fourth, Arrow fifth, Jinnit sixth, Johannes 7th, Burns 8th, Coxie 9th, and Zeig 10th. Mario 11th.
Mario 12th. On poor man's pole.
Yeah,
JXW
Mario
12.
Mario's in a good
Puff.
spot there. He's in that Mercedes
Yeah, he is.
too. If he gets on the mediums and makes up a few places in that Mercedes, he can actually have a pretty solid race. So I'm looking forward to this for sure. Yeah, in it for the long haul today. Still got probably another 2 hours to go, roughly.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, because qualifying at this point, with 12 minutes to go, so qualifying will be done at around 4 o'clock. Then we'll take, probably a 2-minute break because, people have to, like, use the bathroom and maybe grab some water.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking we're gonna be probably, probably closer to 5:30 by the time this is all said and done.
I think that's right.
Yeah, it's only 21 people tuned in. It's excellent. Welcome, everybody. If you just joined us, maybe you're part of the community, you might know this already, but you might be new. Everybody's running realistic performance tonight, so we're going to have a pretty interesting field once it's all said and done here. Guys like Gilzo, Barton, Arrow, Jinnit, and some pretty slow cars, but are pretty quick drivers. They've made it to Q3. Who's out there in front? It's going to be Fuzz, eh? Let's get on board with Fuzz. Probably going to be the first hot lap of the session. Just going to step away for a quick moment. I'll just stay on board with Fuzz.
Sure.
Yeah, just going to run to the washroom quickly. Unfortunate part of the long broadcast. Can't wait.
I will talk to myself in the interim. So as we're on board with Fuzz here in this racing point, I mean, this is going to be interesting for him because Fuzz is someone who, props to him, is newly turned off his last assist, and so there are things that are certainly some growing pains here in that. And so when you have a car like the Racing Point that just doesn't quite have the stopping power of the online car or of the better cars in the league, you can certainly run into some issues that a better car can mask. Ricardo talked about that pretty candidly in his podcast a couple months ago about going to Renault. Oh, and then Fuzz just kind of blue balls us all and goes in. Excellent. Okay. So I'm just going to be talking here while you guys are on board with Fuzz in the garage.
Who are you with now?
Barton just started a lap.
On board with Barton.
So hop on with Barton here. Let's see how coming up into this slow section here. Leaves it very late. Get some braking done quickly. Gets the car rotated. Goes through here over that curb, over the outside curb. Plants. Let's see if we can keep his foot down all the way through here. He can, which is a big difference from the Williams. You can't keep your foot planted through that part. You have to lift. So, nicely done through Barton there. I mean, he still has to be very precise with it in that Alpha. Slowing down for the chicane. See how much he takes a ton of curb back onto the power. Nice job getting 85% of the way on, getting the car settled, and then nailing it. Now we're going to see how aggressive he is through here. So much lap time is either gained or lost in this corner, and he goes through nice and aggressive there. Really nicely done through there. That's especially in a car that has less grip than the online car. Nicely done. Going slow into here. Nice trail braking all the way into the apex here. This is shaping up to be a really nice lap. A little more comes out very nicely there. Slows down for this turn, which is really a difficult corner. Gets a little wide there. Comes back inside, gets the power down, a little wide, but holds on to the grip. And now he's running up as Coxey takes the pole 22.9, but Barton is going to break it with the 22.6. And so for right now, there's your pole sitter. I got to think that that's going to fall, though. Just seeing what we've seen in the last couple. Jinnit with the 22.4. Very nicely done, Jinnit. Let's see, we have Fuzz on an outlap. We have Bobby
Arrow's on a flyer. Oh, no, sorry. Arrow put in his time, but it wasn't very good, so he's actually on a cooldown lap. My mistake. Is that Bobby? It is. He's invalidated, though. So, checking with Johannes. He's about to put on his first hot lap. See what kind of time he can do here. Just coming through the final turn down the main street here in Albert Park. Got that DRS wide open. Bombing down towards the line. Is he going to get in the 22s? No, it's a 23.2 for Johannes. He's definitely going to need to improve if he wants to stay in the top 5.
Yeah, that time was going to drop for sure. Fuzz is on an outlap.
It's Gilzo on a flyer. No, his has been invalidated, so Gilzo, nope. Barton, I think he'll be heading back into the pits, so let's check in with Burns. Is that Burns on a flyer? No, his battery's turned down. He's not either.
Fuzz is on one. Fuzz and Bobby Tava are both on one.
Okay.
Looks like Tava's going to come through the line first there as he goes through sector 2. Doesn't quite take enough of the curb, and so he runs a little bit wide on that high-speed chicane here. But, you know, with that Ferrari engine, he's blasting his way down. Actually goes really nicely through that next turn, catches a little curb to get the car a little bit of that extra rotation to steal from Tira Limitless. And finishes through the third sector, turns in, stays clear of the curb, on the other curb, nails the gas. This is going to end up being a pretty decent lap, and I don't think it's enough for pole. Yeah, 22.9.
No, it's not good enough. He had better laps in Q1 and 2, I believe.
Yep.
So, not getting it done when it counts at the moment for Bobby. He definitely has time for another lap for sure.
Props to...
Fuzz coming around now to finish his hot lap and see what time he can put up.
Props to Coxie right now, sitting in third.
Yeah, it's a good lap.
Yep.
Fuzz coming around. Is it going to be good enough for the top 3? Let's see.
I don't think so.
No, 23.3 for Fuzz, so...
Yeah.
Sitting in 6th at the moment.
Yeah.
Not good enough. Everybody else in the pits at the moment, except for Bobby.
Yep.
I believe Bobby's heading into the pits as well, so a little bit of a lull here. Not much to do. Feel free to make your way out whenever you want and prepare for the race. You don't have to stick around.
It's okay. I'll chill out for another minute here. So, okay.
I'll say the wine's going down pretty easy here.
Yeah, I'm sure. I opened a beer because why not?
Oh, I mean, you've got nearly 35 minutes to get a beer into you. Once
Yeah,
you're out in
exactly.
Q1, you're like, well, what do I do for the next half an hour? Might as well drink.
Yeah. Figure, you know,
We're all here for fun anyway, so.
Absolutely. I figure the beer companies are going to do well during this quarantine. You hang out at home and just get drunk.
Yeah. Maybe they'll start a little bit better home delivery service that isn't so expensive.
There you go.
So Zyg on an outlap, one of the only cars on track at the moment. Fuzz also coming around, I believe, heading into the pits though. So stay with Zyg for a moment. Looks like we have a Toro Rosso heading out of the pit lane now. Who would that be?
It's going to be Arrow.
Maybe Arrow.
So it looks like at this time, as soon as Zyg comes out, he is the guy to watch because he's, well, going to be the only guy on the track.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with Zyg.
Yeah, and I'll keep
leaving yet.
I'll keep on with Arrow once it gets started, just so I can see what his times are to let you know if he's on a pole run here.
Yeah, let's see what happens. So Zyg bombing down the main straight, that DRS wide open, starting his first hot lap. It says he's on an lap. It's just updated now. We've got a sector time. Looks pretty tidy through the first couple turns. DRS wide open once more. Heads into this right-hander. He wants to get wide and then take just a little bit of curve on the inside there. Not run too wide on the exit because it compromises your run into the next left-hander here. It's a high-speed right-hander here. You want to take that flat out. The back end steps out on him, but he stops it. So pretty tidy here. You want to take a lot of curb here and then maybe just use a bit on the exit. You must want to be straight lining once you position the car on the exit of that turn. The right-hander here, another tricky one. You don't want to run too wide there. It compromises your run all the way down the straight. So he's lost a bit of time down the straight because of his exit there, almost completely off the track on the curving there. Throws it in on the left-hander.
Super aggressive on that.
That was very aggressive. Oh, and he runs wide, but he saves it. Cost himself a bit of time down the straight, though, because he had to get on the brakes a bit. Does well not to lose the car there. Nice and tidy through the final couple turns. Sweeps down the right-hander. On the power nice and early down the straight. Let's see what kind of time Zyg puts on the board here. Is it a 22? No, it's not. 23-2. Just behind Johannes, ever so slightly. Bobby coming around to start a hot lap. Coxie coming around to start a hot lap. Let's get with Bobby. He'll be our first hot lap. Then we'll have Coxie behind.
Grab Arrow. Arrow just finished sector 2. He's 6/10ths down on his first lap time. He's like a 10th or 2 behind Zenith in pure pace right now.
I think he's just backed off a second there. Not sure though. His engine is turned up though, so he must be pushing.
Yeah. He touches that last curve, gets him really nicely rotated. This is going to be a nice lap. I think he's going to take pole.
22.5. He's just behind his teammate Jeanette.
Close.
Ever so close. Not quite enough. So Bobby on a flyer. Coxie behind him on a flyer. Zyg on a cooldown lap. Let's get to Bobby. See what kind of time he can do. Burns, I believe, in the Red Bull on a hot lap. Or, sorry, an out lap. My apologies. And then we have a Ferrari. Sorry, it's an Alpha just ahead. Is that Gilzo on a hot lap? No. It's Barton on an out lap just ahead of Bobby here. Let's see what kind of time Bobby can put on the board. Looks like a good one. 22.2 goes on a provisional pole. Bobby. Great lap from Bobby there. Coxie coming across. What kind of time can he do? 22.5 for Coxie. Goes into third. Good time from Coxie there. Excellent time from Coxie. So this is pretty much it for some of these guys. We'll see who can improve. Jeanette on an out lap. He's about to start his final run. He's a contender for pole here for sure. He's going to have a bit of an advantage over some of these guys that already set their laps. Let's get to Johannes. He's starting a flyer as well.
I'm going to run big. I got to go to the bathroom before I get started.
Yep. All right. Man, have a good race. Good luck.
Thank you.
Fuzz on his flyer at the moment. See what he can do here. Do we have anyone else coming across for their final run? It looks like Burns is close to finishing here. See what kind of time Burns can put on the board, and then we will check in with Gilzo. Actually, Gilzo has gone on provisional pole. I missed that. 121.9 for Gilzo. Burns improves. So that's Barton on an out lap. He is not going to get across in time to start a flyer. He's done. Barton in 6th on in that Alpha. That's not good. Bobby heading into the pits, so he's done. Coxie coming around. Is Coxie going to put another lap on the board? He is, but it's not going to be good enough, so he slows right down. Let's get to Johannes. Johannes with a chance here to improve his position. He's not terribly far behind Burns, but he's got some ground to make up if he wants to improve much higher than that. So check with Burns, see what he can do. Or sorry, Johannes, what he can do here. Then we'll jump to Jeanette as quickly as we can. 22.5 for Johannes, so that puts him in 6th. Jeanette has invalidated, so he is done. He stays 4th. And I think that's it for everybody. That is it. Qualifying is done. So the grid. Woo, interesting. The grid for the Grand Prix. That's off just leaving the party there. The grid for the Grand Prix here. Gilzo on pole position. Barton, his teammate, in the Alpha in 2nd. Bobby in 3rd in that Ferrari. Jeanette in 4th in the Toro Rosso. Coxie in 5th in the McLaren. Johannes in 6th in the Renault. Aerostrike in 7th in the Toro Rosso. Everybody's starting on the softs. Nobody used the mediums in Q2. Fuzz in 8th. I think it was Burns in 9th. And then Zag in 10th. So that's your order for the Australian Grand Prix. It's a 100% race. We're running realistic performance. So we're going to see, you know, some of these guys are pretty fast up at the front. They've qualified well, but they're driving pretty tough cars. So over the pace of a 100% race, we could see this shape out in a very interesting manner. Not too sure who's going to have the advantages. See over the length of a race what can be done by Gilzo and Barton out front in those Alphas. But they're going to be under pressure from Bobby in the Ferrari. He's been looking solid in that Ferrari tonight. And Jeanette in the Toro Rosso and Arrow in the Toro Rosso, both threats as well. Pretty much anybody could be a threat tonight. It's a long race. Got a very long way to go. We've still got 100% race distance to come. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to step away for a few moments. I think they're going to take a quick break themselves, and then we'll probably have a few moments, even if they do start before the formation lap is done. So I'll be back with you shortly. All right, we are back. Excuse me. Shouldn't have turned the mic on so quickly. I wasn't ready. We're back. 58 laps, as you see in the top left corner. This is a 100% distance race. We got realistic cars tonight. We got Gilzo on pole position. We've got Barton in the Alpha just behind. We tried to balance the grid out by pace and put them into slower cars. As you can see, Puff Digital and Doth and the Williams really did struggle. 18th and 13th. Generally, usually guys that are fighting at the front almost every week. Bobby in the Ferrari places it in third. He's going to be under a lot of pressure from Jinnit behind in fourth. Followed behind is Coxey, so good performance from Coxey, making the best use of that McLaren. He's got that good chassis. That's a pretty solid performance from him. Johannes in sixth in that Renault. Aerostrike in seventh in that Toro Rosso. Fuzz in eighth in the Racing Point. Burns in a ninth. in the Red Bull, Zeig in the McLaren in 10th. All these guys starting on their Q2 tires they qualified on, all on these softs. Bring up this information here for you. Leave the interval. Detail, we'll get tires up. So Puff started on the hards. He's the only car on the hard tire at the moment. And Doth and Neve are both on mediums. Merlano just opted to start on the softs, as well as Ryan, Terminal, Electric Chicken, Lit Romney, JXW, and Mario. Interesting to see that many guys outside the top 10 starting on the soft tire. It's going to be an interesting race for sure. It's a long one. Everybody's driving the actual car as Codemasters program them. No equal cars today, so let's see who can tame their beast best and win in this 100% race in Australia. Gilzo and Barton have to be the early favorites, obviously making use of that Alfa Romeo. Getting on first and second. We are almost ready to start this race. Here we go. Should see the lights any moment. Green flag is going. The lights are on. We have 3 lights on, 5 lights on. And the Australian Grand Prix is underway. Let's go. Gilzo gets a good start. A little slow at first, but gets good traction. And Barton under pressure from Bobby early. Here we go. All these cars into turn 1. Is anybody off? It looks like everybody's got through fairly cleanly. Good wheel-to-wheel racing. Oh, we got someone off. That's an Alpha. Oh, Barton is out, and he is down in 19th. He very well could have been out of this race if we had full damage on. Oh, a bit of a tag there for the Mercedes. Hits the back of the Haas car there. That's Niebuhr hitting the back of Terminal Deity. And it looks like Electric Chicken around the outside there on Terminal Deity. Let's check the position. Oh, Lit Romney's off. Huge incident for Lit Romney. He's out. Coxie is retired. He has lost his tire. I think he has crashed into Lit Romney, who had spun the car. We have a safety car. Definitely required at this circuit when that kind of stuff happens. Lit Romney is still trying to get turned around here. Yeah, big incident there for Lit Romney. And unfortunately, Coxie has been taken out on lap 1 of a 100% race. That has to be absolutely crushing. You got to feel for the lad. He's had a tough season with us so far, and he's been trying his best. He's had a couple good performances lately. And oh, Lit Romney spins it again under safety car conditions. Those tires overheated at the moment. If I'm Lit Romney, I would consider it. I've lost so much time already. Just get in the pit lane, get on a set of hards, and see where you come out at the end of the race here. This works out nicely for Puff, though. On those hard tires, he's up into 7th place. Let's check the positions gained here. So Puff makes up 6 places on the start. Niebuhr 6 places on the start as well. Terminal Deity makes up 4. Chicken makes up 4. JXW makes up 8. Johannes in the pits. So a lot of guys diving in the pits here early. All these guys getting off the soft tires to start. Let's check what they are jumping onto. Change that to the tire information. So Gilzo onto the mediums. Gilzo onto the mediums. Looks like Fuzz serving a penalty here. Everybody jumping onto the mediums, it would seem. Nobody else on the hards except for Puff Digital in 4th place now on the hard tire. So this has worked out tremendously for Puff Digital. He has gained a lot of time and a lot of track position here. 9 places gained on the hard tire here in 4th place. He's in a pretty crappy car, to be fair. So it's going to be tough, but he's got JXW behind him and Burns ahead. So drivers that he has much more pace than, but are obviously much better machinery, and we'll see what Puff can do, sitting in 4th at the moment. I'm excited for this. I think Puff has a chance here. It's going to be a hell of a drive if he puts that Williams on the podium here. Zeig drops down 2 places. Johannes drops 7. Barton drops 13. Obviously had a huge moment there on the start, but nice thing about the safety cars, it brings everybody back into the race, unfortunately, except for Coxie, who I think probably just came around that corner blind and tagged Lit Romney, and there probably wasn't much he could do about it. And that's kind of just the way it goes for Coxie lately. It's sometimes just rough luck for him. He's got to feel frustrated by that. I know how it feels, because sometimes it happens to anybody. You just get into a rut, and bad things just keep happening to you. So the rest of the pack looking to catch up to the train here. They're all tucked in behind the safety car. Bobby is leading the race at the moment. And Zenith behind. Anybody thinking about going to the pits now? Maybe thinking, well, there's enough of a gap to the guys behind. You might be able to get away with it. Nope, I don't think so. Everybody stays out, so... Looks like everybody going to be racing. Oh, 5-second penalty for Arrow for corner cutting under the safety car. That's unfortunate. He heads into the pits, so Arrow going to serve that, get it over with now. Probably a good call, actually. Does Arrow serve that? Let's jump to Arrow. Yeah, he's serving that 5-second penalty. Good stuff. Get it out of the way. I mean, he's already in a bad spot as it is, so... Something must have happened there during the safety car conditions that caused a bit of an incident. Lit Romney finding his way back through. He caused the safety car, which he spun on the exit of that high-speed right-hander. Lost the car on the exit. Took too much curb. Spun around, and I think Coxey just came around and collided with him. I didn't actually see Coxey's crash, but I did see him retire with his wheel ripped off in that sector. Very close to Lit Romney, so pretty sure that is what happened. Get back to the front here. I believe the safety car will be coming in this lap. I would hope so, because it did come out on the first lap of the race. We are on lap 3 at the moment. I would like to see some racing. It'll be a couple laps before we have any DRS as well, so Puff going to be under threat. JXW is going to have that massive power advantage, and Puff won't have DRS to help him ahead, but JXW will have that power behind to help. Very interesting for him. Let's get back to the tire information. We know everybody has moved. So Mario and Eber in the Mercedes, driving the best car in the grid, sitting in 8th and 9th at the moment, so territory they haven't been in much this season, which was kind of the point of giving some of the slower guys that have been struggling this year the better cars so that they can maybe get in the mix and fight. Safety car in this lap, so Bobby needs to slow up the pack now and let the safety car get away. I would say he's a little too close to it at the moment. He's really backing them up, though. Let's get to that broadcast view. I think Bobby didn't start yet, so Bobby now getting on the throttle. I think he's safe to go. Here we go. The race is back underway. Zenith loses out on the restart a little bit. Burns very close to Zenith now. Puff Digital ways off Burns, but JXW not very close either. So Electric Chicken behind. We've got a Alfa Romeo. That's Gilzo taking a look at Mario. He's in 10th at the moment. Gilzo lost out in the safety car period, but is on fresh tires sitting in 10th at the moment. We've got Puff Digital... Oh, down the inside on GXW. Doesn't find a way through there. It was pretty close. A little bit of bumping there. Electric Chicken was under threat from Terminal Dady on the straight as well. So Terminal Dady in that Hosh car looking pretty feisty right now. All over the back of Electric Chicken and looking to catch up so he can fight up at front there for the podium. Now, Puff Digital all over the back of GXW, who is struggling. He's already 1.5 seconds behind. Burns ahead. Puff hoping to find a way through. He's on those hards. He's going to struggle to find a way through on the soft runners, but I think Puff in trouble here. He's probably got not as much pace at the moment. He's running those hard tires. Has to defend well now. Electric Chicken looking at the outside, but isn't close enough. Terminal Dady losing a bit of ground to Chicken here, and Mario is very close. Niebuhr gets by his teammate Mario. Niebuhr on those mediums ahead of Mario now. Oh, looks like Terminal Dady down the inside ahead there. Didn't get close enough. We've got a lot of good scraps in the field right now. These cars really balancing out the skill advantage some of the drivers have. It's been a really good restart after the safety car here. Puff Digital has a bit of a cushion now. He's a little bit behind, but he's building the gap to Chicken behind as well, so that's good for him. Do we have anybody close enough? Oh, we've got 3 wide here. Looks like the Renault, Ryan, Doth, and Arrow, all 3 wide down the straight there, and Doth still fighting his way around the back. Oh, Fuzz has lost the car. Fuzz has spun, and he's got straightened out. We've got a yellow flag, but no retirement and no safety cars or VSCs, so the race should continue as it is. I think we'll be okay here. Terminal Dady has lost a bit of ground to Chicken. Chicken with those gaps. Mario still very close to Gilzo, and Coxey has left the session. Obviously, he's out of the race. Frustrating night for Coxey. Got a feel for him. Mario pressuring Gilzo ahead. Gilzo all over the back of Niebuhr. He's looking to find a way through here. Got those fresh tires. Niebuhr got that Mercedes pace advantage, but Gilzo, a very quick driver in that Alfa Romeo, is all over the back of Niebuhr. Gets a much better exit down the straight here. Is Gilzo going to go down the inside? He does. They're side by side down the back straight. Gilzo's going to get this move done. He's ahead into the turn. Sweeps in that right-hander. Takes the place. Good move from Gilzo, working his way through the field in that Alfa Romeo. After pitting under the safety car. Electric Chicken is very close to the back of Puff Digital here. He seems to be struggling to get temperature into those hard tires with that Williams chassis. It's not a very good car that Puff is driving tonight, and Electric Chicken is all over the back of him. He's got that DRS. Sorry, the DRS is not activated yet. And he's by. It's not even with DRS, and he has that power advantage, zips by. Williams with that Mercedes engine too, but just carrying a lot of drag, and Puff Digital gets past on the softs. Electric Chicken on the softs passes Puff, and that's to be expected, I think. Puff doesn't want to lose too much time. He's on a pretty good strategy at the moment, sitting at 6 on the hards. He doesn't have to fight these guys. They're in a much worse position sitting on these soft tires. Terminal 80 is looking at Puff now, very close to him. Not quite close enough, and Gilzo looking around the inside of Terminal 80. Oh, it's a squeeze, but Gilzo makes room. Gilzo down the inside. I think he's going to get this move done into the right-hander. He does. Gilzo ahead. Takes the place now. He's all over the back of Puff. So Gilzo making up a lot of time and positions here on these medium tires after pitting under the safety car. And his teammate Barton stuck down at 12 still, trying to find his way through the field. So Gilzo has a huge advantage here. I think Chicken has got by Burns. Oh, Burns has had a moment. Burns has off. Yeah, I thought Burns dropped quickly there. Down into 14th Burns. Wow, he's lost almost every position. We've got Ryan Lit Romney behind. What has happened to Merlano? It seems he's retired, but is still active. Merlano and Coxey out of the race, it seems, but Merlano's still showing as an active driver. I don't really understand what happened there. Zig runs wide. Barden and Arrow very close as well. We've got a lot of cars very close here. This is a really good scrap. Johannes looking for a way through on Niebuhr. He sends it down the inside with that DRS. He has it. Johannes sweeps across and takes the place. Niebuhr. Well, Arrow. Barden has a moment there, and Arrow is now alongside. Well, also Doth is looking for a way through as well. We've got 3 cars heading into the turn here, and it looks like Arrow comes out on top. Oh, and he runs very deep. Barden around the outside now. Get on board with Doth here. He's got a great seat, and Doth sneaks through after Barton is pushed a little wide there by Arrow. Nothing malicious by any means, but just track position-wise, Barton was compromised, and Doth did well to sneak through there. Excellent move from Doth getting through. Let's get back to Terminal Dady. Still pressuring Puff. Is he going to find enough down this straight to get himself through? Barton's still very close to Doth as well. Try to keep an eye on all these battles here. Terminal Dady definitely has the bit of a pace advantage here. See if he can find a way through. He's a little hesitant on that corner, and it's a much better exit, and we'll have an advantage down that straight. Let's get back to Barton and Ryan. Oh, Barton, huge moment, and he's lost the car. He's off into the wall. Huge crash for Barton. He gets it spun back around. He's got wing damage, though. He'll have to head into the pits. For sure, Barton has compromised his race heavily here. If I was Barton, I would maybe consider getting on the hards and putting a fresh wing on and just trying to drive around in some space and make up some ground. Obviously in a tough spot now. It's a long way to go, but could be any safety car at any moment here. It's a very tough track. Zig down the inside here on Terminal Dady. Is he going to get enough space to get through? I don't think so. Terminal Dady has a compromised exit, and Zig gets a much better run down the back straight, and it looks like Johannes all over the back of Terminal Dady too. Can he find a way through here? Johannes down the inside, 3 wide. Oh, and they all make it through clean. Wow. Excellent driving from these drivers here. Wow. 3 wide. Oh, this is excellent stuff here. These drivers, with their skill in these machines, just duking it out. It's a pure slugfest around Australia today. This is great stuff. Definitely filling the void of missing the Grand Prix this weekend. I'm feeling this is pretty exciting stuff. I'm happy to be here calling this today, right now. Bobby with a huge advantage right now out front, too. We've kind of lost track of the front runners as they're the guys in the Ferrari with good race pace. Bobby 4.5 seconds ahead of Ginett. And Ginett 4.1 seconds ahead of GXW, but Gilzo coming in hot behind on those medium tires, probably in the net lead of this race at the moment. Arrow Strike with the DRS is very close to Johannes. Sends it late down the inside, but he's not going to be close enough to warrant space there. Definitely had to back out of that to make sure Johannes didn't clip him. And that puts Doth all over the back of Arrow here. Puff Digital running pretty solidly in 6th still on those hard tires. He started on them. Terminal Deity is not really closing on him either, so Puff kind of found a cushy spot to sit in now. And he's got a long way to go before he needs to consider coming into the pits. Barton picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Aerostrike runs a little bit wide there, but he's still got very good pace over Johannes here. Is he going to find a way through? Johannes with that DRS to defend. Looks like Arrow looking around the outside, but isn't close enough to get it done. Johannes runs deep, though, and Arrow very close again. Looking for some space, but he can't find a way through here. It's a very tricky part of the track to overtake. Doth is closing in as well, and that's bringing Ryan into play as well. Aerostrike's still looking for a way through, but he can't find it. Johannes not terribly far behind Zag either, who's not far behind Terminal Deity. So we've got a bit of a train forming here, and it looks like we're going to have a very interesting scrap in the next few laps for 7th place. Terminal Deity is closing on Puff as well, so Puff sitting in a bit of a tough spot. He's got a lot of cars behind that are going to have fresher tires with better pace and DRS. Puff really needs to find a way to turn up the wick and get away from Terminal Deity. Strike very close to Johannes here as well. So yeah, they're all catching the back of Puff now, and we're going to see an interesting scrap here. Zenith into the pits, getting off those soft tires. What is he going to go on to? Don't think anybody's close enough for an overtake, so we'll jump to Zenith. What did he get out on? He's gone on a set of mediums, so interesting call from Zenith there. Let's see how far he can go on those mediums. I would think probably another 20 or so laps, and then maybe considers getting on another set of mediums to the end. So Puff getting defensive now. Terminal Deity has caught him, but that has brought Zag, Arrow, and Johannes all into play. Arrow has found a way through on Johannes here. And Doth Hoist is caught up too. So Doth almost caught up to the back of his teammate, though Puff on a much better strategy at the moment, sitting on the hards in 5th. He definitely has some defending to do if he wants to maintain the advantage he's got. Zag very close. Oh, we got a virtual safety car. Something's happened here. Puff Digital with a time penalty. What has happened? Is that Fuzz on the straight has lost the car? Yeah, so is he the cause of the virtual safety car? Not sure. I didn't see anybody crash out. I don't think anybody's done. Was it Mario, perhaps? Was Mario still in the race prior to this lap? I think maybe it was Mario. Not too sure. Either way, we're under a virtual safety car. So let's get back to the front runners. Bobby has a massive gap at the moment over JXW, so his Ferrari seat has worked out well for him tonight. The race is back on. Puff looking to get away here. He's probably lost a bit of temperature. Zag dives into the pits. And it's down the straight. Nobody particularly close at the moment, so a little bit of gap play at the moment, but Terminal Deity should be able to close on Puff. They're both on 10-lap old tires, but Terminal's a little bit quicker. Though I can't imagine they're going to last much longer, these soft tires. Zenith down in 12th on the mediums, closing on the back of Lit Romney as well. Still got Arrow close to Terminal Deity here. So the good news for Puff is that Arrow might slow Terminal Deity down. The bad news for Puff is that it's Arrow in a faster car right behind you. So I'm not sure what Puff would hope for here. Maybe he hopes that Terminal Deity and Arrow get very scrappy and cost each other enough time to break that DRS train. Maybe his tires come to life while Arrow's and Terminal's are falling off towards the end of their life. Arrow cuts that corner quite egregiously. I think they'll probably at least have got a warning for that. Definitely looks like he didn't keep all 4 wheels on the track from the T-Pod camera there. Hard to really tell, though. So a bit of a train here behind Puff Digital on those hard tires. Not sure what kind of pace those hards have here, but Terminal Deity is really under threat from Arrow here. Arrow with that DRS is going down the inside. I think he's going to get through here on Terminal Deity. They're wheel to wheel, and Arrow gets through. Is Puff going to be able to find enough pace now to get away from Arrow? Because Arrow still has that DRS. And he's closing on Puff now. Arrow released by Terminal Deity. Now closing on Puff Digital on the soft tires. Puff on the hards. In that Williams, driving valiantly at the moment. Doth Thou Hoist behind, very close to Johannes as well. Terminal Deity, we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. I don't see, there's that fuzz. It looks like he's lost the car on the hards in Sector 1 there, through Turn 1. Or, yeah, it must be, because Electric Chicken is currently 4th, and he's in the other racing point. Johannes down the inside, takes a look at Terminal Deity. Oh, they're wheel to wheel, and I think, oh! I have to say, I think Terminal Deity needed to give Johannes a little more space there. Doth has made his way through, and Ryan has made his way through as well, so... Doth in a good spot now, has cleared a few cars, make up a little bit of ground, but Terminal Deity, yeah, it was just a bump wheel to wheel, and it looked like Johannes maybe caught the short end of that one. It didn't really look dirty or like nobody left enough space or anything like that. JXW is very close to Gilzo here. I'm going to have to jump to that quickly and see what he's doing. No, he's lost a bit of pace. So let's get back to Arrow all over the back of Puff now. Trying to find his way through, and Johannes is still scrapping Ryan as well. It's tough to decide what kind of action to keep up with here. I see some comments in the chat I wanted to respond to, but neglecting the race because there's a lot of good battles at the moment. So once the field spreads out a little bit, I'll get to the chat. Arrow strike behind. It looks like Ryan alongside Terminal Deity on the outside into the high-speed chicane here. Is he going to get enough? No. Johannes trying to stay tucked in behind as well. Ryan has a huge pace advantage down the inside here into the right-hander, and he sweeps across and gets that placed. Ryan overtakes Terminal Deity, and now he's under threat from Johannes behind as well. Puff Digital still under pressure from Arrow, still ahead of Arrow at the moment. Whoa! Terminal Deity and Johannes get very close there. So, Arrow strike. Can he get close enough? Johannes is going to get through on Terminal Deity here. He's got that DRS advantage. He dives down the inside, and he is through clean here. So, Johannes overtakes Terminal Deity, and Jinnit next up the back of Terminal Deity. Behind him, though, Terminal Deity has Whit Romney, who's quite a ways off, so he'll be okay once Jinnit is through. Oh, looks like Arrow and Doth are very close here, as well as Puff, and Arrow still hasn't found a way through. JXW has lost some pace to Gilzo as well, so not as close as we were hoping. It looks like Terminal Deity's lost the car here. Just getting himself turned around at the end of Sector 1. Sorry, Zag is, yeah. He's the 13th there. He's closing on Terminal Deity, who just had a moment. So Arrow still tucked in behind Puff, and that's allowing Doth to close in on Puff, or sorry, Arrow as well. Both on the soft tires. Wondering if they're considering going to the mediums to the end of the race, or at least if they get on the hards, they can go to the end. I'm sure those two, Arrow and Doth. Interesting to see what kind of strategy decision they will make when they eventually do head into the pits. Arrow with the soft and that DRS gets by Puff. Puff's tire is a little older. Obviously, the soft tires shouldn't have much life left in them, though. Puff should be able to go for another 20 laps or so. Doth now closing on Puff on the soft tires as well. And then after that, we'll have a few gaps in the field, and we'll probably have a chance to pop in the chat and answer some questions if anybody has any. If you have joined us late, everybody is driving in realistic performance cars, so we tried to... Oh, Doth has a bit of a moment there, loses a bunch of time to Puff. Yeah, we tried to seed the grid by pace in the slower cars. We put the fastest guys, and then the slower guys in the fast cars. And yeah, it turned out to be a pretty interesting race because of that. Puff, obviously, two-time champ. Arrow is the previous season champion as well. They're running pretty well in pretty slow cars. Puff Digital in 6th, Arrow in 5th. Doth doing well this year in Tier 1. He's running 7th on the softs in the Williams at the moment. So Doth definitely will lose this position when he pits, but he'll be in a pretty good spot because he has cleared a lot of track position. It's like Puff letting Doth through, really on completely different strategies. There's no sense in holding Doth up. Puff has to worry about Ryan behind now as well. And then Johannes too, who will probably be going quite a bit further. So, yeah, interesting to see some of these soft runners out for quite a bit of time on the tires. Bobby in first place with a pretty hefty lead still over Gilzo on 15-lap-old softs. He'll probably have to pit soon, but I'm not sure how long the pit stop is here. I would think he would probably come out somewhere around Puff or Ryan when he does pit. So Puff could be ahead of Bobby, but Bobby going to be on very fresh tires while Puff's hards are starting to be heading towards the end of their life. Ryan has closed up very close to the back of Doth here. Did Doth have a bit of a moment and Puff has gotten back through? I'm not too sure what happened there. Maybe Doth picked up some wing damage. Let's check at the front of the car if we can see it. Ryan taking a peek down the inside, not close enough. I don't think there's wing damage for Doth. Maybe a little bit. Ryan very close, and Johannes now very close as well. Barton has closed up to the back with Zyg. They're heading down a straight with DRS. Let's see if Barton can find a way through here. He has a bit of a power advantage over that McLaren for sure. Can he get a look down the inside? He is not able to. Doth heads into the pits, so yeah, I feel like maybe he had a moment and decided to pit. Is he getting a wing? Nope, just tires. So Doth seems to be okay with the wing, but needs a fresh set of boots. Johannes still back on Ryan, who is now losing time to Puff here. Gilzo picks up a penalty as well. Johannes all over the back of Ryan. This is great news for Puff now. If Ryan stays out a little bit longer and holds up Johannes, Puff might actually be able to get his tires into their sweet spot again and then pull a little bit of a gap. Not too sure what's going to happen or when Bobby's going to pit. He's in a pretty cushy spot at the moment. Just maintaining that gap to Gilzo behind. It's still 9.5 seconds. It was only 9.9 seconds a lap or two ago. So he's done well to maintain that. Yeah, it looks like he's in control of that Ferrari today. Could very well come out on the mediums and get to the end of there. Oh, huge moment for Puff there. He's lost the car. Those hard tires maybe starting to fall off a little bit, and Puff has lost in that high-speed chicane. It's a very tricky part of the track. I have to think he's got wing damage. Let's see if we can get a look at the front of the car. Yeah, he's missing his end plate, so Puff is going to have to head into the pits. I would suggest maybe, hard to say, maybe soft to medium or from here. Maybe just get on the mediums and hope they can last. Hard to really say for Puff at the moment. It's a tough break for him. Was running very well. Let's see what he gets on. And we also have Ryan and Chicken into the pits. So Chicken leaving the pits, coming in on fresh mediums. He looks like he's in 7th tentatively at the moment. Lit Romney closing very fast. Can Lit Romney get by Chicken? Yes, he does. So Chicken drops to 8th. Ryan leaving the pits. Puff getting a wing change. He's going to be a little bit slower out of the pits. Drops down behind Burns too. But Ryan out ahead of Zyg. Just barely. Zyg going to have those tires working nicely, and Ryan going to be on cold tires, so this is Zyg's chance to strike. Barton very close to the back of Zyg here. Oh, huge moment! Oh, my! Barton has caught the... sent him flying into the same corner where Fernando Alonso lost it in 2016. In a McLaren as well. Shadows of 2016 there with that huge moment. Barton just locked up behind Zyg and pushed him so quickly that his car did not stop, and he went deep into the gravel and lost the car. So, huge incident there between Barton and Zeig. Lucky that it wasn't much worse. Zeig almost crashed into the back of, I believe it was Ryan there that they were behind. Nearly crashed into the back of him there when he was pushed through the corner. Huge moment. Aero Strike gains a position as JXW pits. So JXW pits, where is he going to come out in comparison to Johannes? He's dropped behind Johannes and Jinnit. Here comes Lit Romney on the main straight. I think JXW's got Lit Romney cleared. Or does he? Here comes Lit Romney. I think Lit Romney might have a shot here. JXW is not getting very good pace down the straight here. Here comes Electric Chicken around the outside. Electric Chicken passes Lit Romney on the outside as JXW exits the pit. Can Chicken find a way through on JXW here? He's got his tires warmed up. He's a lap fresher tire. Sorry, a lap warmer. They're a lap older, but he's got them working now, and JXW is still warming his up. This is Chicken's chance. He can jump JXW here. But Romney struggles a little bit, and it looks like he's lost a bunch of time there to Electric Chicken. Yeah, he's really fallen off. Chicken, let's see what he can do here with JXW. Ryan on the back of Doth now, so let's check in with the stops. We'll see how many stops everybody's done. Fuzz has 4 stops, so not having a good night out here. Zeig has 3 stops. But Never, Terminal, Puff with 1 stop each. Puff in 13th. JXW has a moment there, and it looks like Chicken is going to find a way through here. No, he's not close enough. Thought about it, but wasn't close enough. Check out Bobby, the only guy not to stop yet. His gap to Gills was really shrinking, though, so he's got to consider coming in now. I think he's gone 19 laps on those softs. He's been on them since the start. He qualified on pole in that Ferrari. Again, if you're just joining us, realistic performance tonight. So we've tried to seed the grid in a manner where the slower drivers are in the faster cars and the fastest drivers are in the slow cars. So shake up the field a little bit over the 100% distance so we wouldn't have any huge blowouts. But Bobby's done well out front, though his gap is dwindling very fast to Gilzo behind. Jinnit now closing on the back of Johannes. Johannes' tires probably coming towards the end of their life. Well, Jinnit's probably in the middle of their grip range at the moment. 10-lap old mediums versus 18-lap old mediums on Johannes ahead. Got Ryan on the back of Doth here too, so a lot of close gaps still, even though we're 20 laps into this race, and the pit stops are well underway. Bobby pits. Let's see where he comes out. He's already lost the place to Gilzo, obviously, who was closing on him. He's got a lot of time to Arrow behind. Arrow now entering the final couple turns. Bobby's tires probably back on. Looks like a bit of a long stop for Bobby. Did he need to get a wing change or maybe serve the penalty? Arrow ripping down the straight. He is still needing to pit again as well, but Bobby comes out on the hards. He's going to the end. Johannes coming down the straight. Bobby really needs to stay in front of Johannes here. This is going to be close. Johannes on the 19-lap old mediums. They'll be working well, while Bobby's hards will definitely need a lap or two to get into a working range. Jinnit behind on 11-lap old medium is going to be a threat for Bobby as well. But then the next closest car that has stopped and is on fresh tires is JXW, about 10 seconds behind. So Bobby's sitting in an excellent spot here. Bobby has had a really rough season in Tier 2. He's only got a handful of points at the moment. A lot of retirements, caught up in a lot of incidents, so hasn't really had a chance to show his pace in a race properly, but he got put in the Ferrari tonight, and he's doing well. He's really proving that he does have the pace when he's not tangled up in incidents with other drivers or accidents and fluky crashes. So, see what Bobby can do towards the end of the race here. He's sitting in an excellent spot. Fresh hards, 3rd place. Got a few guys behind pressuring, but the next closest contender really is JXW on 2-lap old mediums. Electric Chicken on 3-lap old mediums in an excellent spot as well. Lit Romney is going to have to pit soon. Ryan, Doth on fresh tires. Puff on fresh tires, so a long way to go here tonight. And, oh, huge moment for Bobby. He's lost it after driving so well. He's put himself in a terrible spot. Johannes has a much better pace advantage down the straight here. Bobby with a terrible exit. Is Johannes going to send it? I think Johannes is thinking about it. He looks to the inside. Is he going to park it? He does. Wheel to wheel. Bobby runs a bit deep defending that, but I think that's fair. You're trying to leave some space. Definitely not dirty by any means. And Johannes looking again down the outside. He sweeps down the outside. He's got a much better line into the next turn. And Johannes maintains it. Bobby has to run wide there, and he loses the place. So Bobby's mistake has cost him dearly. Zenith now all over the back of Bobby. He was running such an excellent race, and he's put himself in a rough spot now. He's going to be losing time behind Johannes, who is on 20-lap-old mediums. Bobby just made his pit stop, fresh hards, but they're not quite up to snuff yet. They're still not in their working range. Bobby looking at Johannes now. He's got the slipstream advantage, and he'll have the DRS down the next straight. So Bobby has a chance to find his way back through here after his mistake at the beginning of this lap. And he's not close enough, so the DRS is not going to be enough of an advantage for him right now, but down the main straight he might have a shot. Keep an eye on this battle. There's nothing particularly close throughout the field anywhere else, so this is probably the best thing to stick with at the moment. Zenith sitting behind patiently, just waiting to pick up the scraps from this battle. So Bobby with the DRS, the fresher tires, but still not up to range yet. Doesn't have the grip he needs down the straight to make the move. So for the moment, Arrow pits. So Arrow, will he come out ahead of Lit Romney? I don't think so. Lit Romney's going to clear him. Lit Romney still needs to pit, though. Ryan is going to clear Arrow. Good move from Ryan there to get ahead. The pit advantage worked, and Doth wheel to wheel with Arrow now. So Doth right on the tail of Arrow Strike as they come out of the pits. Doth with those tires working perfectly while Arrows are very cold. Can Doth send it down the inside? Oh, he has to back out of it. Arrow was not letting Doth have a chance at that one. So Doth smartly backs out of that one. I was thinking he was going to send it because his tires were warmed up, but just not there for Doth. He's probably going to end up drifting back from Arrow now once Arrow gets these tires working. Barton closing up on Burns. We got Bobby very close to Johannes. They're side by side down the straight here. So Bobby finds his way through. Oh, Bobby goes so deep, and he's in the gravel. Huge moment for Bobby. Zenith comes back by through. Bobby's back on the track, but he has lost a lot of temperature in those hards, surely running into the gravel as he was just warming them up. So JXW, his teammate, now closing. Bobby has thrown away the massive advantage he gained in his first stint. He's brought JXW back into play, and Electric Chicken not terribly far behind either. We've got Arrow Strike and Lit Rami tucked in behind Ryan. We've got Barton tucked in behind Burns, so still plenty of action here as we near the halfway point of this Australian Grand Prix. It's 100% distance. It's realistic cars. Arrow Strike and that Toro Rosso overtakes the Red Bull driver, Lit Romney. There we go. A little bit of Albon Gasly type stuff there. Obviously Albon in the Toro Rosso beating Gasly early in the season last year. Ended up taking his seat halfway through. And Albon ended up keeping that seat for this season, but this season now postponed for the moment. We won't see any racing for at least a month or so. Looking at early May, perhaps, is the first Grand Prix, is what they say at the moment. So, obviously, we have to monitor the situation and see how things go, but the whole world is trying to get on board with trying to stop this virus, and that's partly why we're here. I know a lot of people don't have much sport to watch this weekend, as a lot of things have been canceled, postponed. We decided to put on a full qualifying 100% distance race here at Zenith Online Racing, and thought it would be a fun way to spend the day, as there's not much else going on in the Grand Prix world this weekend. So Bobby very close to Zenith here. He goes to the outside. He gets put onto the grass a little bit. Zenith defends that well. I think Bobby just a little bit excited on the brakes there and sent himself wide. Still very close to finding a way through here, though. So those hard tires finally coming to life now, and they're 4-lap-old tires. Just getting into their working range. 23 people tuned in, so that's good to see. We've got a good viewer base here today. Obviously, we are nearing the halfway point of the race. Lap 29 will be halfway. We have a few close scraps in the field still. Bobby's still looking for a way through on Zenith here. Gets very wide on the exit, but he's got a much better grip advantage down the inside here. And Zenith just has to let that go. There's really no point in Zenith fighting that at this point. Oh, and he eggs the back of Bobby there through the next corner. Did he cause himself damage? No, we're on reduced. I think Zenith might have got away with that one. Oh, no, he's lost his end plate. His right end plate is gone. Zenith's going to have to pit. His end plate is gone, and he stays out, interestingly enough. Strange decision from Zenith there. I would assumed he would have dove in the pits for sure. Ryan is still very close to Arrow, and now Barton is very close to Burns, who is caught up to Doth. Doth's stuck behind Lit Romney at the moment. Doth closing. Hoping to find a way through here. Bobby is closing on Johannes now in second. A car that he came out of the pits in front of. And ended up making a couple mistakes and dropping behind. But he's fighting his way back up. So Bobby, as he passes Johannes, will have made up the position he lost. But we should note, I'm sure a lot of people will be thrilled to hear this, that Gilzo is 33 seconds ahead in first place of Johannes. And Bobby's behind him. So Gilzo is clear. He's going to make that pit stop. I would assume he's going to probably... how far can Gilzo go on this meet? Oh, Lit Romney, huge crash here! Wow, Doth! Oh, Puff crashes into Doth! Oh my lord, what a massive incident we've had here. Lit Romney lost the car, Doth caught him, and Puff came around that corner full tilt and crashed into his teammate. So Doth in a terrible spot, limping around, trying to get back around here. Lit Romney going to have to pit as well, and Puff also probably needs to pit too. So, huge moment here in the race. Fuzz has retired, he's given up. He's having a rough go, can't blame him. Puff heading into the pits. What is he going to do here? I'd imagine another set of mediums if he's got them. Lit Romney needs to pit anyways, so he's not losing as much time here. Doth heading into the pits. He's going to lose time stacked behind Puff. This is terrible news for Doth. He might get there at the right time. They release Puff, so he's not stacked, but his tires and the wing are not ready. They're just getting to work now, so he's lost about 5 seconds just sitting there waiting. Barton into 10th now. He's tucked in behind Burns. He's within that DRS range. Bobby is closed up on Johannes. Has that DRS. He's trying to find a way through. Can he find a way through? Bobby on those hards. He's made a couple mistakes, but he's had the best pace tonight in that Ferrari. Looks like he's going to find a way through here into turn 1. They're going to go wheel to wheel. And Bobby, with the much better grip advantage, outbreaks Johannes into turn 1. Takes second place. Now can start chopping the gap to Gilzo down. The problem with that is that Gilzo eventually will be pitting. And going on to... I mean, either very fresh hards or soft tires. I mean, he's got a huge pace advantage here. Sorry, huge gap. So, if Gilzo goes to, you know, lets Bobby work that gap down to 23-4 seconds, he pits onto the soft tires. Like, he can afford to lose time and then get onto the softs once the window comes down a bit. And I think he'll end up in a pretty good spot there. Gilzo has a good shot to win this race. He can come out on the softs, and even if he comes out behind Bobby, Bobby will be on very old hard tires, and Gilzo will be on soft tires. So look for Gilzo to go... How far does he need to go? I'd say those softs can go about 20. So Gilzo needs to go about another 7 or 8 laps, and he can probably extend those softs to the end of the race. I think he can do it. He's got a 33-second advantage at the moment. He can afford to lose 13 seconds and still probably win this race. Barton down the inside here on Burns. Doesn't get through. Burns has a moment, and now Barton's shades of the incident with Doth there. Barton tags the back of Burns and ends up setting himself into a worse spot. So Barton's going to need to pit now. Burns probably okay, but lost a bit of time. Zog passes him, but Zog is lapped. Jinnit heads into the pits to get a fresh wing, so Jinnit's race is starting to fall away from him now as well. Johannes in a good spot, needs to pit still, but he's sitting in a pretty decent spot track position-wise. Puff Digital on 1 lap old soft tires. So did Puff... Sorry, Puff pit when Doth did. So these guys are going to try to go to the end on these softs. No, they can't. They must go soft, right? They have to. 29 laps on the softs is impossible. I don't think they can do that. So 14 and then 15 or something along those lines. Very well could be a safety car at any moment in this race. It's a very narrow track. Virtual safety car as I point that out. Let's see if anybody dives into the pits. We've got a Williams coming around. Is it Doth? Does he think about it? No, he doesn't. Does the Ferrari of JXW or Bobby consider it? JXW and Johannes, they're coming around towards the pit entry now. I think Johannes has to pit soon anyway. Maybe he considers doing it now? I don't think so, no. He needs to extend these mediums. He's got to stick with Gilzo on the strategy decision here, I think. Whenever Gilzo goes in, he should go in. So we should be under green flag shortly. Virtual safety cars usually don't last terribly long. A lot of gaps now, as you see, though, under the VSC. So not a lot of close battles at the moment. So it's really going to come down to strategy here. See what happens as some people are on very different strategies than others. A lot of guys need to pit still. A lot of guys might not make it to the end. A lot of guys are going to probably try to extend their stints on really crummy tires to see if they can maintain the track position in gaps that they've earned. It's going to be a very interesting race here. We're only just over the halfway point, so still about 40 minutes or so to go in this one. It's a grueling thing running a 100% race, but we also ran a full qualifying session before this as well. So these drivers have been out on track now for about an hour and a half, and probably still have another 30 to 40 minutes to go. So yeah, as you see, a lot of gaps in the field now. So what should we watch? Let's see, interesting gap battle that we can keep an eye on here. So Puff to Barton is an interesting one. Can he catch Barton? I don't know. Johannes closing on Bobby. Not going to be close enough though. His tires will start to fall off. JXW. I guess we could watch JXW try to close the gap to Johannes because he does have much fresher tires. And then Electric Chicken as well behind him. And a bit of a gap battle between JX, Arrow, Ryan. All these guys working gaps towards each other. A lot of guys have penalties as well, so that's something to consider. They might have these gaps. They're not necessarily the actual positions that these drivers are in at the moment. Doth, very close to Lit Romney. Let's get to that. That'll probably be our best action for the next few laps, as you see a lot of gaps in the field at the moment. On board with Doth here. Barton also closing on Terminal Dady. And that should bring Puff up to the back of Terminal Dady in a few laps as well. Doth with the fastest lap, 26.6 on these softs. Closing on Lit Romney. Lit Romney going to be feeling the heat right now. Lit Romney going to the end, though, and Doth has to stop again, so... If I'm Lit Romney, I'm probably not fighting Doth too much here. Doth clearly going to have the pace advantage, but also has to spend about 25 seconds making another pit stop. So as you notice now, Bobby is starting to whittle the gap to Gilzo down. It's down to 30 seconds now. Gilzo has gone 30 laps on the medium tires. If he gets those to about 38, I think he can pit onto the softs and get to the end of the race. If he can keep that gap around 24, 25 seconds... Well, 24, 25 seconds is to clear Bobby, I think. But if he keeps that gap around 17, 18 seconds and then pits for those softs, I think he gets to the end, and I think he has a much better pace advantage over Bobby. Definitely gets by him on track and probably wins this race. So it's really Gilzo's race to lose at this point, I think. Johannes a long way off, 34 seconds behind, but he's sitting in a good spot as well for a podium here. JXW in that Ferrari definitely has the opportunity to make up a lot of ground here too. Well, he's driving a very fast car, and if he's starting to get the hang of it here in the second half of the race, he could definitely close. Terminal Deity has been passed by Barton, so Puck Digital will be next there. Doth Val Hoist still looking for a way through on Lit Romney here. Hasn't managed to find it, but he's got that DRS advantage. He's got the pace down the straight. Is he going to send it late? Oh, he tags the back of Lit Romney. Lit Romney does not go too deep. Doth, I think, gets away with that. Doesn't pick up any damage, so he'll live to see another day and fight another battle. Probably have to take a moment to collect himself after that one, though. Terminal Deity losing ground to Barton here. I don't think he's going to be able to keep up. Doth alongside Lit Romney once again. Obviously has a much better pace advantage on those fresh softs. Terminal Deity still hanging out of Barton, though. He's not letting him get away. Doth here without DRS. This is a good place to get a good slipstream, though, and if you can position yourself nicely through this high-speed chicane, you can get a really good run with DRS down this next straight. So Doth a little hesitant there on the throttle. Lit Romney, oh! Lit Romney nearly loses the car. Doth's reactions save him there, and he gets the place clean. I think Lit Romney just let him through out of respect for the fact that Doth didn't cream him and send him into the wall, because that was very close. So Terminal Deity's lost his advantage to Barton. He will lose DRS and now start to fall away a little bit. So back to a few more gap battles. Jinnit will be closing on Burns shortly, and we should see JXW closing up to the back of Johannes any moment. It's within a second, so we'll keep an eye on that gap as well as they approach the main straight. How much longer are these guys on the Gilzo and Johannes? How much longer are they going to go on these medium tires? Are you at the point of the race now where the softs might last long enough that you consider putting an extra lap or two on them for an undercut? Anything along those lines? I don't think Johannes has any, like, super direct competition at the moment. I think he really just needs to do what's the shortest race strategy, not worry about what his rival's doing, because Gills was so far ahead on track. Burns is way behind, so those are the guys that are on similar tire life to Johannes at the moment. Oh, we have a safety car. So all the gaps are neutralized. We have a safety car. Who's coming into the pits? Somebody just got to the pit entry very quickly there. Is that Zyg? He's got to consider pitting. He's way behind. Nope, he does not. So we have Gilzo into the pits. Perfect timing for Gilzo. Just what he needed. That's going to give him he's going to maintain first easily here. We thought he might anyways. Bobby runs very deep. Last thing he needs right now under safety car conditions. Johannes, I imagine all of these guys need to pit, really. Like, there's no point in not. Bobby heads into the pits. Yep, I think everybody has to pit here. And there's no point in staying out unless you're on very fresh tires like Jinnit, Barton, Puff, maybe. Doth definitely pitting. So everybody dives into the pits, it seems. Electric Chicken next. Arrow into the pits as well. Checking with Ryan, is he going to go in? I think everybody pretty much should. We'll get pretty much everybody on even terms to the end of the race here. I think that'll be a pretty fun battle. Looks like some guys opted for the mediums, though. That's interesting. Maybe thinking those softs are not going to last quite long enough. I think Gilzo's okay, though. I mean, he's going to lose his gap. But he will have track position on fresh sauce. Does Puff go in? I think he's got time to Doth behind anyways. Doth is not going to pass him, so Puff can go in and get on softs and not really lose anything, because the guys in the pits already are going to maintain that. Yeah, Puff heads in smartly as well. Gets a fresh set of boots on to go to the end. I think that's a good call. Terminal Deity slows excessively into the pit entry there. So Puff loses a bit of time there, but Doth is not going to catch Puff. He'll probably still filter in behind him. Doth, unfortunately, stuck behind the safety car as a lapped car behind Gilzo. Oh no, that's terrible news for Doth. I would consider just passing both and getting on the lead lap. If you can hear me, because the penalty's not going to really matter, and I don't think anybody's going to blame you for doing it. Just go. Yeah, do it. Pass them. I don't think you can hit the safety car, though. There we go. Safety car yields. Perfect. Did you get any warnings or anything? Wiggle no if you didn't get any warnings. Oh, he got disqualified. Fuck. That's not good. But said he got disqualified. Is he still going, though? I hope he didn't get disqualified. I mean, he was running in a bad spot anyways. He was already lapped behind the safety car. That would have been a pretty shit race. It looks like it's going to let him keep going. Maybe. I can't tell anymore. Terminal Deity behind Puff. Puff goes for the mediums. Jinnit on the fresh hards. That's interesting. So Jinnit pit and went on to hards. Thought he would have stayed out. Barton on fresh soft. So very interesting mixture of strategies here. I don't know what Jinnit was thinking with the hards. Maybe there was only tires that had fresh life on them. But pretty much everybody on fresh set of boots now. It looks like Doth is still going. I don't know. Let's see. If he heads into the pits here, it's over. Oh. So the safety car probably not coming in this lap. It looks like Doth's still going. I really can't tell, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, Doth, I think, is going to end up catching back up and getting behind Terminal Deity. Zyg's stuck as a lapped car between them, but yeah, the safety car coming around for another run, so I think Doth is still technically in this thing. That's great. I mean, whatever. If it says he got disqualified, who gives a shit? Like, he gets the race still. That's what we're here for. We're not here for technicalities. Stupid that they don't let the lapped cars go by anyways. Just creates a mess on the restart. If they weren't ghosted anymore, you know, like back in the day when they weren't ghosted, like, how did you really do a restart with a lapped car there? The guy just has to pull over and let the whole fucking field go by. It's just ruins his race even more. I can't believe they haven't figured that out. They're gonna go through all the effort of sorry, just reading comments here in Andromos. Yeah, I mean, the race doesn't even count, though. It's exhibition, so we're not going to be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Like, it doesn't count anyway, so we'll just let him. If he's still actually racing, then it's perfect, and I think he is. Looks like his times and stuff don't count, but he's caught. Has he caught up to the field yet? Not yet. I'm not sure what's going on. Safety car is in this lap, though, so Doth definitely needs to catch up. He's got about one sector to do it. Yeah, I mean, if we actually stewarded this, we would say, no, it shouldn't be a disqualification. But the problem is, if the game doesn't let him drive the car still, then we can't do it. I prefer to ignore the game's stupid rules, but... Anyways, we're about to go racing again. Everybody is on fresh tires, so this should be pretty much a shootout to the end here. Should see a very interesting finish to this thing. Gilzo is leading the pack. He's got Bobby behind. He's got Johannes and JXW as well. And then there's a lapped car of the Red Bull in the way there, so hopefully he just doesn't cause any issues. The problem is the Red Bull's a little too far behind. He's not going to allow Bobby to get close enough to actually get a good restart here. But Bobby can get by now. It's green flag, so he can go. I think Bobby's good. Should be. Yeah, even if he gets a penalty, we wouldn't count it anyway. So Bobby's good. It looks like JXW is close. He got a good restart as well. Burns on the restart got very close, but nobody has made a way through. Oh, Barton and Puff side by side. They bump. Puff around the outside. I think Puff gets the place there. I'm not too sure if it was clean or not. I didn't see the whole thing. But Terminal Dating now taking a look at Puff, and he's gotten by Barton as well. Oh, Lit Romney's off again. And he's lapped car anyway, sorry. It drives me nuts, that ghosting thing. Terminal Dating, Barton, and Doth all very close here on the restart. We've got Burns and Jinnit also scrapping it out. Let's get to the front here. Can Bobby find a way through on Gilzo? Who's going to have the better tires at the end of the race here? We got softs versus mediums for first and second. Johannes with fresh softs in third. His strategy worked out perfectly for him, and that safety car eliminated the gap he had. So it's anyone's race at this point. Doth has found a way through on Barton as well. And we'll get to this scrap between Burns, Jinnit, and Ryan. Aerostrike very close to the back of Chicken as well, as the front four seem to be spreading out a tad. Aerostrike closing that gap to Chicken. Anybody's race at this point. Zog has retired. I believe he has gone in the pit lane to retire, yes. Anybody else diving into the pits? No. It looks like Aero is taking a look, but not close enough. Without that DRS, it's hard to make overtakes around Albert Park. It's very tricky. Let's get to the front here. Oh, Chicken has had a moment, and Aero got through. Was it just an overtake with the DRS, perhaps? I saw the yellow flag at the same time, so kind of threw me off there. Burns, Jinnit, still very close to one another. Puff dropping back a tad, but Terminal Datey all over the back of Puff. Doth Valhoist on softs, and Barton on the softs behind. So, are the softs going to hold up? The mediums should for sure. But are the softs going to fall off at the end, and it's going to cost these guys? Right now, they're going to have an advantage, but it might not last. Very close between these drivers here in the midfield. The front four are starting to separate a little bit, but Chicken, Ryan, Burns, Jinnit, Puff, Terminal Datey, all within a second of each other here. Look at that train. And once the DRS kicks in, we're going to see some moves. It's an excellent race we've had here today. Not too crazy with the safety cars. We did put reduced damage just to try to minimize that a little bit. So DRS is now enabled, so we should start to see some overtakes. Chicken runs very wide there. That's going to cost him heavily down the straight. Is Ryan going to be able to get a look on him? He's got a bit more top-end speed, but he's not close enough to take a look. He has to back out of that. The Mercedes engine bailed Chicken out of that mistake. We've got Toro Rosso behind there running a little wide. That's Jinnit, and then Puff following behind as well. Aerostrike closing to the back of GXW. Ryan, as he got through on Burns. Now Jinnit looking for a way through on Burns now. Oh, someone's lost it. Was it Terminal Datey that made a mistake or something and lost a bunch of places? I think it was. He was close to Puff. Burns. Ryan defends that. Keeps that place, but Burns looking for a way through here. He's all over the back of Ryan. He's got that Red Bull chassis underneath him. A much better car. Can he throw it down the inside on Ryan into this turn? It's going to be side by side. Oh, Ryan defends it. He cuts the corner in defense, but I definitely thrown off line there. It's a very tricky place. Oh, Jinnit all over the back now. Very close to Burns down the inside. Jinnit gets tagged. He nearly loses it, but he gets it recovered. Good job from Jinnit to recover that. I think he was I don't know if he was close enough to warrant space, but I think Burns could have left him a bit more there too. It's hard to say. Really tough to tell when the action is live. Okay, I'm not going to make any comments on it because I'm not too sure what happened there, but I'm sure Jinnit will be a little frustrated with that because he was very close. Arrow is now very close to the back of JXW as well. Got a lot of action here. That safety car has really spiced this race up once more in the final stint here. Everybody pretty much going to the end safely unless there's wing damage. Terminal Dady all over the back of Jinnit there. He had a moment. Terminal Dady down the inside with that DRS. Is he going to get the move done? They go side by side. Oh, huge moment for Dady. He sent it very deep and he got alongside the side pod of Electric Chicken there, and then I just think Chicken had no idea that Dady was coming down the inside there and closed across the corner. Jinnit lucky not to get caught up in that. He lost a little bit of time in that, but didn't get tangled. Doth Thou Hoist is closed up to the back of Jinnit, surely during the reaction there. Puff 7.7 off at the moment, so he's ahead of Terminal Dady, but Puff has a lot of ground to make up at the moment if he wants to catch Doth and Jinnit. Glad to see Doth actually still in the race, though, even though it said he was disqualified. He's actually there driving the car, which is excellent to see, because regardless of where he actually finishes, it doesn't really matter. Burns, very close to the back of Ryan still. Hasn't found a way through. Ryan defending valiantly while Aerostrike is caught up to the back of JXW's Ferrari, and he's looking to find a way through. Got that Honda power in that that Toro Rosso. Is it enough to get by the Ferrari power on JXW? I don't think so. Not down this straight. So Aero needs to just be smart and hang with JXW here. He's got that DRS advantage again. He might be close enough to do this under braking. JXW defends that inside line. Aero around the outside. Aero gets it done. And Puff has lost the car. He has binned it. Puff out. Oh, no, sorry. Puff has gone in the pit lane to retire. My apologies. Puff has just decided he's had enough. I think he realized that gap wasn't going to be made up. Doth still very close to the back of Jinnit here. Burns very close to Ryan still, and JXW has gotten passed by Aero. Aero has found a way through. Now Aero on his way to fight for the podium. He's on 7-lap-old mediums. He's got Johannes on 7-lap-old softs ahead. Johannes closing that gap to Bobby ahead, so that's a nice gap battle for us to watch as well. JXW still hanging on to Aero, but he's not quite close enough. Burns with that DRS now. Is he going to have a look at Ryan? No, not yet. Doth Thou Hoist in 10th place. Looking to find a way through on Jinnit. He's in a much slower car. He's on much faster tires, though. Jinnit on those hard tires will be struggling to find that top pace that the guys on the softs and mediums will have, but he'll definitely have a tire life advantage at the end of the race. Burns very close here with DRS, but is just tucked in behind Ryan. He's going to try and take another run at it down the second DRS zone. Ryan gets a terrible exit here. This is Burns' chance. He's got a much better run. He's got that DRS. He's around the outside. Here we go. Can Burns get the move done? Under braking, Ryan sends it down the inside and defends it, and Burns struggles with the exit. Ryan defends that well. In that Renault car, he's fighting off Burns in the Red Bull. Great driving from Ryan there to defend that. Doth has gone around. He's lost that Williams. Doth and Puff struggling in that Williams car tonight. Obviously, Merlano out of the race as well, still sitting 10 seconds behind and active in 20th somehow. Obviously, some kind of glitch happened there. Burns. Yellow flag in sector 2. Who is that? It is Doth again, has spun once more. It's gone from bad to worse for Doth. Consider parking it probably at this point. I don't know if he's close enough to get back in the points at this point in the race, but Burns, Chicken, and Jinnit all within a second of each other here, scrapping it out. JXW still within a second of Aerostrike, that Ferrari power, keeping him in touch with Aero. Well, Gilzo has a 5.7 second lead over Bobby. Johannes 2.3 off Bobby right now. So it looks like Bobby might have done enough to secure second place here. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Gilzo in first. He's got too much pace on those softs, and he's already got a 6-second lead at the moment. JXW not close enough, but Burns is. Can Burns send it on Ryan now? Can he get it done? Ryan kind of drifts across to that outside line and covers Burns off. Burns wasn't really alongside Ryan. He didn't really need space, so Ryan covered it off nicely there. And you see Electric Chicken and Janet very close behind as well. Burns still very close to Ryan here. He's going to have a nice slipstream advantage down this next straight, but he won't get DRS here. So can Burns close enough through the high-speed chicane to use the DRS down the next straight and find a way through on Ryan? He's been stuck here for quite some time. Has the faster car, and he should be able to find a way through. Burns has a huge moment, and he doesn't... He saves it, but he doesn't do well enough there to close on Ryan. Did well enough to defend Chicken, though. He didn't lose the place to Chicken behind. Oh! Burns tags Ryan and spins the car. Burns with a huge moment there. So Burns has spun. It looks like Lit Romney is passing him, but that is a lapped car. So Ryan with a huge moment here. Chicken around the outside. It gets by. Chicken takes that place, and now Jinnit alongside Ryan is looking for a way through as well. Jinnit down the outside on Ryan here. Oh, Jinnit goes a bit wide, but I think he gets the place. He keeps it on track, and he gets the place. Chicken has lost the car. He's in the gravel. I missed that. Chicken has lost the car, so he's given up the places he was fighting for. And now JXW has lost the car. He's gone around. He's in the barrier, and then turns it into the barrier trying to get spun around as well. So he's done even more damage to himself. Massive changes here at the end of the race, and now we have huge gaps here at the front. Gilzo, 6.4 second lead. Bobby's 3.3 ahead of Johannes. Johannes is 6.5 ahead of Arrow, who is 7 seconds ahead of Jinnit, but Ryan is still very close to Jinnit, and Barton is very close to JXW now. For JXW is trying to recover. Surely Barton will get through here. He does. He's already alongside him. Barton has found a way through. JXW with that wing damage is in very big trouble here. He's going to have to pit if he wants to make it to the end cleanly. There's no way he can continue for another 12 laps with a damaged wing. So Ryan, now our closest battle, he's losing ground to Jinnit ahead. Not sure he's going to be able to close that back up, but let's see what happens here. We do have a lot of cars out of the race. There's only 13 runners left at the moment. Yeah, Puff DNF, Zyg DNF, Fuzz DNF, and then Mario and Coxie. I'm not sure what happened to them. It doesn't say they DNF'd, but yeah. Tough race for some of these guys. It's a long one. It's been a really long session overall with the full qualifying and the 100% race distance. Oh, JXW in the pits here, getting a new wing as we suspected. So Ryan and Burns pretty close to one another here. Electric Chicken a little ways off of them. So this is our closest battle at the moment. I would suspect Burns going to be losing ground to Ryan a little bit here. He's in a faster car, but Ryan, having broken that DRS advantage, may have a chance to get away here. Although Burns is closing again. Cuts that corner, though. Definitely picked up a warning for that. So Burns within that DRS range now. Let's see if he can maintain this pace and continue to close in. So, Burns now lost the DRS advantage, just dropped back out of it. Besides that, we don't have really any other gaps to watch at the moment. Everything else is spread out quite a bit. We can, once this gap settles itself, we can take a look at the race director and see what we have for penalties here. Though it's a lot of math, and I've been drinking wine, so I don't know if I'm really interested in doing it right now. Nah, screw it. We'll just see what happens at the end. I'm not going to look at the race director. I'd rather just ride on board with some cars. We'll stay with Burns and Ryan for the moment. I'll step away for a quick moment. So Burns, now right on the tail of Ryan again. He's in controller. Apologies for that. We lost the controller there. It did warn me a fair bit ago that it was going to die, and I forgot how long the race session would be. I was hoping it would make it to the end, but... Yep. Yeah, whoopsies. You're right. So, Burns with the DRS here has a huge pace advantage. Is he going to send it around the outside? He does. They're side by side still. Burns on the grass, though. It's a much worse exit. Ryan's going to have a grip advantage here. Ryan down the inside defending it. They're still side by side into the final turn here. Oh, wheel to wheel. Burns around the outside. I think he's got the place, but he runs a bit deep, so Ryan's going to get a better advantage down the straight here. Ryan with a much better run down the straight. Oh, they're wheel to wheel once more, but Burns holds the place. Ryan, no, nearly loses the car, so Ryan is going to have to do a little bit of work to get back to Burns if he wants to fight with him a little bit longer here. He's dropped out of that DRS advantage already, so Burns, this is Burns' chance to turn up the wick and try to build that gap and secure 6th place. I think Ryan does have the pace to close back in, though. It looks like he is closing. No other gaps really to watch at the moment, so this battle will be our entertainment for the next little while. And then, if it's spreads out a little bit, we can go visit some of the drivers tonight. Talk a little bit about how their seasons are going, their respective tiers. But for the moment, we do have a bit of action to focus on. So Ryan is in that DRS range. I think he's going to get it here down the main straight. Does not look like he got the DRS. He didn't. You see on the telemetry at the bottom, he doesn't have DRS here. Not entirely sure what happened there. He's close enough now. He should get it. Again, no DRS, though. Is his DRS maybe malfunctioning at the moment? So Coxie, crash out on lap 1, has rejoined the session to spectate here. Tuned in. It's been probably about an hour since he left. It's a really long race. Yeah, Coxie back in the session observing. So Ryan is still within a second of Burns, but he doesn't seem to have DRS advantage. I'm not too sure. Maybe he's having an issue with it. Let me check from this view if it is opening or not, because I do not see it opening on the telemetry. Yeah, Andromelus. Fies wants me to invite all of those guys to the party. Well, I guess so. We're having a bit of a party tonight anyways, as this is a fun race to try and fill the void of the cancellation of the Australian Grand Prix. I will get you guys invited shortly. I just want to see how this battle pans out here. Ryan is back very close to Burns here. He definitely has DRS this time. There's no question about it. So let's see what Ryan can do. Ryan with the DRS. He's closing fast on Burns. He's not going to have enough, though. He's going to have to tuck in. Would have been very ambitious to try it there. But with the DRS, he can try it here. Johannes has a moment, and Johannes has lost a place. Oh, Johannes has retired. Did he just retire on the track there? I guess, yeah. He's still moving, so he must have just parked the car via the menu. He hasn't lost a wheel or anything along those lines. Bit of a dicey move, though. It could cause a safety car. Obviously, this race doesn't really count, so it's not terrible, but the last thing you'd want to see after some of these guys worked so hard for their gaps. I mean, after the last safety car, they built these gaps again, and then to lose the gaps again would be a little bit of a travesty, in my opinion, but that's also part of racing, so it's hard to say. Something we've been discussing lately in the league. We're not too sure about the future of the safety car, but I think for now it's a bit of a necessity. I think at least, like, it is somewhat realistic in the severity of crashes and the way it comes out, but people just need to stop crashing so badly. That would probably help. Ryan's still very close here. So if he doesn't get it done on this, these two DRS zones, I'm going to send those invites out to those guys. Get them into the party, and they're going to be on the commentary for the final stretch of this Australian Grand Prix. So Ryan with the DRS again. He's not found a way through yet, but he's going to have it once more on the next straight. And he looks like he's close enough to take a peek here. I think he's going to have a chance. Ryan, this is his best opportunity in a few laps. Is he going to send it? He does. Down the inside, Burns tries to close it off. Burns covers it well, but compromises his run through the next couple turns. And Ryan has to yield. So, okay, let's get those party invites out. Who was I inviting? Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Sorry, guys. Puff and Fuzz and Zag. Puff, Fuzz. Zag's not online, so there he is. Who was the other one? Puff, Bones, Zag. Fuck, you happy? Well, luckily we didn't miss anything, but yeah, I finally got the invites out. There he is.
Oh,
Yo.
we're in.
Everybody's here. You came to raid my stream.
Yeah, hell yeah, we did. Had a couple of drinks. We got Ryan ready to fucking pounce.
Yeah. It's been pretty fun, actually, honestly. Like, it's been a really good race.
I was saying, I'm surprised you've still been going at it. It's been a long...
It's a long
battle.
stream. It's a long stream.
Yeah, we just wanted to lighten your load for the last 5 laps.
Yeah. Doth helped me out in quali. That was actually pretty nice.
Yeah,
You do the heavy lifting for 53 laps. We'll come in at the end when it gets exciting.
clean it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steal all the credit.
Yeah.
It's
Well, that's
basically
fine.
Buff and me and Zai commentating the whole race.
I think I was about 5 laps from losing my voice anyway, so
Good timing.
yeah. I could take a little
Ryan
bit
has
of a breather.
been really,
Oh, VSC.
really biding his time.
Oh, what the hell happened?
I don't know. I didn't see anything. Johannes is out.
He retired
Yeah, I
a while ago, though.
I
Oh,
think
did
he
he?
retired on track.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
sure, he
wanted
did.
an invite, too.
Oh, to the party?
Yeah.
His audio doesn't even get shared, though, does it? I invited Bag of Bones. I invited Bones. And RC is offline. Gotta find
Yeah,
it.
it's
Have a
only
front
your audio, Mega, it seems.
It's only mine?
Yeah, because he's on the party screen, that's why.
So it won't share our audio?
Well, you should.
will.
I think you'll be there now.
It should share ours.
Yeah. Anyways, there was something I was gonna say before.
Okay,
you
yeah. We are in. Anyways,
Yeah, I'd
the race is
imagine.
back on.
Yeah, Ryan's
Hey.
Ryan's been hounding Burns though, but it's just like they seem so equal because of the car advantage. Like Burns
Yeah.
pace wise, like obviously slower, but with the Red Bull, he's able to fight with Ryan here, and it's pretty interesting.
We also have Barton getting somewhat close to chicken there.
Yeah. But yeah,
I don't think he has enough laps.
the safety cars definitely mixed it up at the end there. I was hoping we wouldn't get
Thank
another
God.
one because I was like, yeah, exactly. We needed one.
We all
towards
cheered
the
in
end.
ours. In our party, we had like
Yeah.
10 of us in there.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
binned it way too many times out of the... What was it, the high-speed chicane?
Ooh, Barton has a wobble.
JXW is catching deity as well.
JXW.
Yeah, we asked Zyke to try to unlap himself to see what the game would do in terms of penalties. It gave him a few 5 seconds for ignoring yellow flags, but
Yeah,
once he passes the leader, it lets him unlap himself, like pass the safety car and then go around.
Yeah, but it gave me like 25 seconds worth of penalties, so I don't know if it was worth it or not.
We can remove those after the race.
Yeah.
Unless you
And
get
I
disqualified.
think I also got a straight 10-second for a corner cut in there somewhere too. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
kind of
that
hectic.
one go- that
So
one's on you.
JXW very close to deity here. He closed that gap pretty quickly, and Ryan's still struggling to find a way through on Burns at the moment. So let's ride with JXW for the moment, see if he can find a way through here. Deity with a bit of a sloppy exit here, and JXW's got that DRS. Is he going to have a look down the inside here? He's close
Ferrari
enough.
power.
He definitely should have.
Oh,
I think he
should
could have got that done.
We have
Good
Jinnit
enough.
now, who pit, also right behind Barton, so... A few battles now to end out the race.
It was getting a little dull there, but JXW's very close to deity here, and as you mentioned, Jinnit's super
Gennett's
close to
very
Barton
close
too.
too.
Oh, JXW down the inside on deity. I think he's got it. They go
Ooh,
wheel
and
to
a
wheel.
Okay.
JXW, I think he got that place. Let's get to Jinnit.
Deity-
No.
Deity defended it.
Back.
No, he's
Nope.
still side by side.
JXW's on the
JXW.
outside. Yeah, he gets it, yeah.
JXW got it. And Jinnit is very close to Barton here down the main street. He's going to have that DRS. He's just waiting, and here he goes with that DRS and that grip. He's down the
Yeah,
inside.
there's no competition. Janet's on fresh softs.
Jinnit through clean. So Ryan now
Burns,
still stuck behind Burns, yeah.
Barton picks up another penalty. Probably like 21 seconds. Can't blame him though. Car's a fucking boat.
Bobby's pulling that gap in.
About $1 for every time I heard that today.
Yeah.
He's actually got a great Canadian accent, so.
Yeah.
Who?
How about the race, eh?
How about the race, eh? He sounds kind of like a mix. I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah, great Canadian accent. And so
Ryan,
it's just
DRS
Ryan.
again. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got that DRS now, and he's the only still within DRS range, and has been for quite some time, and still hasn't found a way through. So we don't really know what the penalties look like. I haven't had a chance to check. I was going to, but I figured it would be
It's
a lot of
a
math
mess.
for this. Yeah, for this point of the race,
It's
it's
an
just like
absolute
forget
mess.
it. Would have missed like 4 laps trying to figure that
Also,
out.
it'll be a little more fun to find out at the end of the race.
We also
Bobby's
got-
put himself in a good place here. He's under 6 seconds.
There goes Ryan with that DRS. This is his best look in a while.
Nope.
Not close
Gonna
enough.
wait for the second
Oh,
straight.
still.
He needs-
Oh!
Oh, I think this is it. This is the closest he's been. He's got to send it here. This is his best
No, that
shot.
Red Bull is too
The
good.
Red Bull is
No,
so
you
late
can
on the
do it.
brakes.
Down the inside. Watch the brakes.
Oh! Nice
Burns.
defense again.
Yeah, Burns does well to defend that on the outside there.
We've also got
That
Jinnit
Red
on
Bull is so
chicken.
strong on the brakes.
Bobby's taking another 8 tenths out of Gills.
Jinnit all over the back of chicken too.
Oh no,
Down
these
to, down
tires,
to, down to
Yeah,
5 seconds.
That's a dead Bono.
tires are dead, Bono. That's all we heard him talking about for like 10 laps.
Ryan super close to to Burns here, and then Chicken under threat from Jinnit as well.
Yeah.
So Ryan can have that DRS first, and then Jinnit will get a crack at it second. Let's see if either driver can find a way through down this street. Burns runs very wide. Ryan has a great exit here. No, that Red Bull just has the pace.
Doesn't have him either.
Nope, can't find a way through. Let's get back to Ryan. Really good end to the race here on the final lap. These four drivers just starting their final lap now. Yeah, it's tough.
All right, Ryan, way too far back, I think, this time.
Yeah, but Jinnit is close.
Jinnit is going to get him.
I think Jinnit's got Chicken here. Chicken touches the grass, too. That's not going to help. Jinnit down the inside. Will he send it under braking? He does, and gets it done clean. That makes that look easy.
Ryan's not close enough.
No.
He's not close enough.
Still.
He's got one more DRS straight to get it done.
Only 3.4 seconds behind, but I think it's a bit too much.
That Honda-powered engine.
Yeah, that's why they switched.
Penalties are going to be interesting here.
Yeah. It's going to be...
JX very close to Doth, too.
Who's that trying to unlap themselves?
Doth is on some really old tires.
Yeah,
Let's
he's
go,
in trouble.
That's Terminal D80 trying to unlap himself.
Oh, Bobby only 0.2 off Gilza with the penalties.
Oh. Damn.
Ryan's last shot, and he's not close enough. He is nowhere near. I think that's it. Burns has got that, but can JXW find a way through on the final lap here? Doth has to defend his heart out. His tires are cooked, and JXW doing everything he can on that Ferrari to try and get by Doth. He cost himself a lot of time there. Doth, yeah, put himself in a perfect spot and really compromised JXW's line.
For Williams.
Ryan, nope, not close enough.
Do what I couldn't do, Doth.
It should be a point finish because Terminal is basically a lap down. So.
Oh yeah, but we could double up Williams' entire total.
Here comes JXW into the final couple turns. He's so close to Doth, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it done. Doth has a huge bobble. His tires are dead. JXW all over the back of him. Here we go. Oh, and he does it. Oh! No way! Did JX get through? No, it was so close.
No.
Wow.
No, Doth got him.
Yes, Doth. Woohoo!
Wow, what a race.
Wow.
Wow.
I suppose if the virus lasts long enough, we could do the entire calendar like this.
I think we should mix in some F2 head-to-head or back-to-back races with the sprint and feature race.
Yeah, we should put Gilzo in an F2 car for the next one.
Gilzo is definitely going in the Williams next race. I don't care.
Yeah.
I think I won the penalties 19 seconds.
Barton thought he had about 18, so...
Yep, he does.
He had 18, yeah?
Nobody had 18.
No one had 18?
JX in the chat there. I was running so well until I binned it. Let's review the order quickly. We got Gilzo first, Bobby second, Arrow third, Burns in fourth, Ryan in fifth, Chicken in sixth, Jinnit seventh, Barton eighth, Doth ninth, JXW 10th, Terminal Deity in 11th, Led Romney 12th, Johannes 13th, Puff Digital 14th. Everybody from Johannes down has retired, so Johannes, Puff, Zyg, Niebuhr, Fuzz, Mario, Coxie, and then I forget his name, Merlano or whatever. He was stuck in 20th, but not retired somehow. I don't know what happened there, but he's.
I think he left in qualifying. I don't know how come he showed up on the stream on your screen at least.
Yeah.
But we we had 19 drivers throughout the race.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Burns and Ryan and Chicken. No penalties.
No penalties. Quick note here. Chicken did say if someone finished top 10 and they didn't have any penalties, you would send them
top 5, yeah. So he owes Burns and Ryan something.
A gift.
Something.
A gift.
It's gonna be a picture. It's gonna be a picture of himself for sure.
Well, who cares what it is? They've earned it.
Yeah.
Fastest lap for Zenith.
Free gift from Chicken.
That was good fun. Fuck,
Good
that was a
fun,
long
yeah.
stream.
Hell yeah.
How long is this thing? I don't even know anymore. We started at 3, so yeah, 2 hours and 40 minutes on the air right now.
Oh my god.
I think I officially lost it. Yeah, no, it was pretty fun. It actually didn't feel like 2 hours and 40 minutes. A 2 hour and 40-minute movie feels like an eternity, but that felt like it flew by pretty fast. Obviously, Doth helping out in quali, much appreciated, and you guys joined at the end there to spice up the end of the stream a little bit more. So it was pretty fun. Definitely enjoyed watching all the racing. We definitely need to make sure Barton and Gills will go in the Williams next time, though.
Shout out to RC, first time in the commentary box.
Yeah, and Zyg. Or,
Yeah.
And Zyg, yeah.
Zyg too, yeah.
True.
Not that I've said a whole heap, but yeah.
If you're actually broadcast, I don't know if your sound's in, but
I am.
oh
I
wow.
think mine should be too.
So only had to join with 5 other people to actually decide to finally do it. We keep egging him on every week to try it, but he hasn't done it yet.
It'll be 4 people next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
it
Thanks
was
for
good.
watching.
Let's wrap
Remember
it
to
up.
smash that like button, subscribe if you're new.
Hit the bell notification.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do what Fuzz said. All right.
Next race on Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
No,
Be sure to
next
join
race
us.
is tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Tomorrow, Fuzz.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, there's an
Actually,
race.
sorry, 6 p.m. It's 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
6 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m.
10
UK.
p.m. UK time. Yeah, so
The next race that matters, though, is Monday night. Too.
Exactly.
Monday
that's
night.
what you
yeah.
meant. But yeah, I'll be more than likely I'll be back with the stream for the EU race tomorrow night. So it'll be 6 p.m. in the Eastern time zone and 10 p.m. in the UK time zone, as we mentioned. So we will see you then. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you had a good time. Cheers.